Ba-boom. Alrighty, we are theoretically live. Theoretically. Like 85% sure we're live.
Well, alright.
This would be a lot easier if I had the right windows open. I think I'd done this before. Yes, we are live. Yay! Yes, welcome to session 17 of Roll for Severity's OG campaign. Our homebrew D&D adventure. What?
Welcome to Quarantine D&D.
Quarantine D&D. Yes, we play every second Sunday at 5 p.m. PST right here at twitch.tv/rollforseverity. If you're looking to rewatch or catch up on previous episodes, subscribers have access to all episodes in our VODs immediately after the session airs. For those who aren't subscribers, all episodes are uploaded to YouTube 1 week after they initially air. You can find us on YouTube by just searching Roll for Severity, or somewhere down below the stream there's a link somewhere. Depends on your layout. I'm Ominous Giggle, the DM for this campaign, and I'm joined by three of my fantastic players. We got Not Nathan, Mel, and Jamie. Unfortunately, Jeanette is unable to join us again this evening. We're hoping that she will be back with us again next session, so 2 weeks. I am Ominous Giggle, the DM for this campaign. I just said that. Before we get underway, there's a few... I can English. English is hard. There's a few good things to go over. One, each month we donate a portion of all income generated by Roll for Severity to charity. That includes donations anything from donations, bits, subscriptions, and sales from the store. This month's charity is Youth Empowerment and Social Services, an Edmonton-based organization that provides low-barrier shelters and temporary housing and individualized support for youth ages 15 to 24. You can check out their website, yess.org, or on Twitter, @yessorg. The Roll for Severity store is up on tpublic.com/user/rollforseverity, or you can link, once again, somewhere down below the stream. 3, we do actually have our second campaign that is now up and running. Miss Wolfinger has the campaign that she is running that now runs every alternate Sunday to this one. And so you can also check us out there and see the clusterfuck that it occurs when you get people like me as players.
It is such a clusterfuck.
It was fine.
Bicker is a fantastic NPC, and I look forward to seeing his character development through the series.
That's enough of that. It really smells like, how the fuck do I kill Aaron as fast as I can?
Rocks fall, everyone dies. I'm outside in the middle of a field. Rocks fall.
Rocks fall.
An elephant falls out of a tree.
No, it's literally, there's just like all these like rocks flying overhead, and then just suddenly they all just like drop dead. But now without further ado, what happened last time?
So, last time, on this session of D&D,
Anna got eaten by a rug.
well, there was some shit that happened before that.
What are you talking about?
We met a dragon turtle. He was really nice. He saved us from the crazy long alligator thing. And then he proceeded to lift us up onto his back, which was really nice. Then our boat got stuck in the tree. And then we struggled. First off, Kay fucked off. I just want to say that. Kay fucked off.
I was not a part of any of what happened.
Zelk is talking. And then as we struggled, also, I would also like to point out this dragon turtle just fucking watched us as we struggled to get our boat down to the ground. In the
None
process,
of you asked for help.
Yeah, none of you asked Yexalok for help.
no idea if he was paying attention or not.
You're on his back. Of course he's watching.
And as we did that, I
Threw
broke
dog out of a tree.
I broke dog. I did not mean to break dog, but I'm sorry, Sylvania. I broke dog.
It's okay, dog's back together again.
And then we broke the boat. Yeah, I broke the boat.
The boat is not back together again.
Oh, the boat is dead.
Don't come knocking when the boat is rocking.
And then we hats in hand, asked the dragon turtle to take us over there towards the tower thingy. He gave us a little bit of lore updates. The adult is still talking, Kay.
Kay asked the dragon.
And
Kay
then
told stories.
Yeah, that's true. You told the stories. And then Theo nearly got fucked by a frog.
Yeah, we got frog eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of eating last. That was a lot of eating last session. Anna nearly got eaten by the crocodile. Sylvania did get eaten by the frog.
That's right. Still got it stuck inside the frog, and Theo.
Oh, I was asleep for that.
Yeah, you were asleep.
Yep,
Yeah,
there is no frog. There was never a frog.
Yeah. Then we found the tower. We got into the tower, and then poor Anna got strangled by the rug.
I had the bright idea to move the rug to find the riches beneath, and
It was a
turned out
good
to-
idea. It was a good idea.
It was
Our
a
rug was an
perfectly
asshole.
acceptable idea.
Yeah.
No one thought touching the rug was a bad idea. Now,
At first.
now
All-
everyone in this room, every object everywhere is gonna get hit with a sword, or with a staff, or an eldritch blast.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what we do.
If
Yeah.
I was
No,
playing
but-
more Morbidia, I would have known that that rug was a goddamn fucking monster thing.
It didn't even come up on my detect magic, so
Constructs never do.
because it's not.
Yeah.
Only
Didn't
the
you
thing
detect
underneath
magic?
came up.
Didn't you detect magic on the outside, not the inside?
I detected magic on the outside, and I did quick detect magic on the inside, so I couldn't see the orbs
Oh.
inside. But I believe it's a creature.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Rug of Smothering is a construct or a creature, and unfortunately, Detect Magic does not detect residual magic that is created a creature like that.
That's okay, because it's dead now.
It
and
is
we are
dead now.
hopefully going to have a nice long rest, because
We
I'm
had it.
hurting.
We had a nappy poo.
Yeah, you got you were
I'm
you would
sure
just
you
toss the
were.
rug into the fire.
Maliciously.
Yes,
No,
Anna was a little bit salty about that rug.
Did it at least have a nice pattern on it before we
No.
killed it?
You know when you're ripping up rug, like that old rug that you just want to get the fuck out of your house? We ripped it up and cut it up with an X-Acto knife. Just cut it into pieces and throw it out the front door.
I'm
That's
okay
what we
with
did
this.
to it. Yeah, that's what we did to it.
Bins, but yes, okay, sure. We just put it on fire. Correct.
Light it on fire.
It was thrown into the fire, yes.
Fine.
So as you're all kind of, well, Anna's tending to her wounds. No one else actually got hurt in that fight.
Sorry, Anna.
Okay, to be fair, Anna took more damage from you all than she did from the rug.
She was inside it! That's what happens when you get swallowed by the rug.
Your options are get eaten by the rug, or take damage for being eaten by the rug.
Or pull the rug off me.
Right?
Well, technically, just no.
That was the solution, just pull the rug off of Anna before you start beating the tar out of the rug.
Yes, but that
Sometimes-
doesn't matter because
sometimes
the
it's
rug
bad.
was the rug was dead before that we needed to do that. So
Now we
it's
know
fine.
better.
No, you guys pulled it off before the last round of attacks went in on the rug, because if you hadn't, Anna would have been unconscious.
Fine, we have a long rest. She would have gotten better.
She'll be fine.
Turned me into a newt. I got better.
I got better.
Better.
But yeah, so as you're kind of resting, tending to your wounds after the Anna's tending to your wounds after the match, are people just right away going and resting? What are the people doing?
I think we're
I-
resting.
I'm
think we're
not
having a moment.
resting. I am
Okay.
now paranoid of every object in this room, and I'm going to politely tap every single object in this room with my short swords.
Politely tap.
I'm going to, at a distance, stab it like a rapier into part of it to see if, like, the table, the chair, a big bookshelf, potentially the fireplace starts breathing fire at me. I don't know what's gonna try and kill me, and I am paranoid now because carpets don't get up.
Alrighty. So you walk around the room and You stab the table, you stab the chairs, you stab the stairs, you stab the trapdoor, you stab the fireplace, you stab the little pillar that the blue orb is sitting on.
Just don't stab the blue orb. We need that. That's what helps us get outside again.
You stab the end tables.
Fine.
Nothing. Aside from like the impact of you like knocking something, like you hit the chair and it like topples over, but nothing fights back.
Good. I approve of this outcome. I am capable of sleeping now that I know that the objects in this room aren't going to try and kill me.
Okay.
Directly.
Alrighty. Is anyone keeping watch? Are people just hunkering down and going to sleep? What's the plan?
Keep watch,
I was thinking Kay is also probably willing to keep watch because he's comfortable sleeping. He's not happy about it.
Okay.
Because I don't trust inanimate objects that attack people. That just seems weird. So yeah. Kay's just a teensy bit paranoid about inanimate objects eating people, but you know.
Oh, okay.
And take last watch.
Anna's taking last watch. Okay.
Yeah, she's tired.
And then, so who's taking first watch? What was the order for watches?
Kay.
Okay. Then
I will.
Theo, then Sylvania, and then Annah. Okay. So as people kind of hunker down, finding a place to pitch their bedrolls or whatnot, or a pillow to sit on and meditate, people start to kind of wind down. Kay, are you just sitting in this room and resting, or is that basically what you're doing for your watch? Or are you exploring the tower? What is your plan?
I think Kay is still too paranoid because there's stairs going up.
Yes.
And trapdoor going down.
Yes.
So
actually, I can just show you essentially where you are.
all right.
Because I made maps for the tower. Boop. You're on the first floor of the tower.
Cool. So Kay, in his infinite wisdom, is trapdoors are bad, and he's never gonna go down one unless someone goes first. Cause
Well, it's currently
No.
closed, so.
yeah, and it can stay closed because hopefully I'm observant enough to notice if a trapdoor opens on its own.
Fair.
But I'm comfortable climbing up to the next level of the stairs and seeing if there's anything that I might have to be paranoid about to stab with my sword.
So you're going up the stairs and looking into the second floor?
Yes, I'm peering into the second floor to see what is.
Oh, okay. How much, like, are you just, like, getting your, like, eyes up over the edge and looking around, or are you actually, like, moving up into the room?
I am getting about this high, so about chest height, or, like, a chest into the room so I could, like, take a gander to see if there's anything, suspicious, strange, or a shiny object that I'm going to want to inevitably touch.
Okay.
If nothing, if I notice nothing, I'm going to walk back down the stairs. And
Are
see
you
if
bringing a
there's one
light?
upstairs. Am I bringing a light? I can light a torch.
Okay.
I am
Because if you
capable of
weren't
bringing
bringing a light, then you would see jack all because it is dark.
Acceptable. I should light a torch. Yes. I have many of those. So.
Okay. So as you kind of step up the stairs and peek around, you're able to see basically what you're up on. You'd be at the north side of the room, essentially.
Fair.
Yeah. And so looking around, you can see a bed there. There's a chest at the end of the bed. There's some night tables beside the bed. There's a dresser on the other side of the room. There's the stairwell directly across from you going further up. But just from a quick gander, that's basically what you're seeing.
Kay likes the idea of a bed. So, Kay, by basis of how he's going to approach every one of these stupid rooms, is going to proceed to stab the carpet. So whatever this is.
Yep, the rug.
Followed by that, and then the chest because mimics are a thing, and then various objects on the bed before deeming it acceptable.
So you are moving into the room then?
I'm absolutely moving into the room.
Okay, let's just toss you up into the room then. So you stab the dresser, doesn't move, and now that you're in the room, you get a bit better look and idea of what's going on. On the west wall, east wall. There's a large canopy bed sitting solidly against the wall. The thin canopy that would have had is long since deteriorated into just a little more than the occasional scrap dangling from the wood overhead. What was once probably a really nice red blanket stretching across the bed has long since faded with age and has various holes that have eaten through it as material has just decayed over the time. On each side of the bed, there's a small wooden nightstand. Stabbing the nightstands also does not cause any kind of aggressive reaction. At the foot of the bed, there is a large chest. The wood on it is fairly sturdy, but the metal bands around the chest have started to rust a bit. It's not in the greatest of conditions. But there is a sturdy-looking padlock on the latch of the chest. Stabbing the chest also does not yield any aggressive reaction. Also, as you're standing near the bed, like, it doesn't smell, but like as you like stab at like the bed and the blankets and what remains of the pillows on the bed, it kind of crumbles a bit. Like these have long since dried out and just they're basically being held together because they haven't been interrupted.
Yeah, so I interrupt it and it's just like
it's falling apart. Yes. On the south wall there is the wooden stairs leading up to the third floor. On the north wall you have the stairs leading back down to the first floor. And then on the west wall you have a dark wooden dresser just heavily caked with dust. On the wall behind it there's a nail embedded into the rock. Nothing hanging from the nail. And you walk up and you stab the dresser and it does not respond.
Okay.
You stab the rug does not move.
Thank God, because that would have been upsetting.
It's like every floor is a rug and the rug is a rug of smothering. Ah!
Does that sound like the muffled voice of Kay? I don't know.
I have to go back to sleep.
I mean, that also means there's a solid chance that Theo wouldn't wake up until after Theo's meditation, after the 4 hours of meditating. So
how long can you hold your breath?
Probably not 4 hours.
It's fine. I'm being paranoid, but I am happy with this. I am not dead, so that's like preferable, to be perfectly honest. So I'm okay with that. That's kind of where I want to stop my venture, because I don't want to venture like multiple
too far away.
I don't want to adventure multiple stories up only to be eaten by a rug. I don't care if it's an adventure. I don't want to be eaten by a rug.
That's fair. So as from just your casual like walking around poking things with the sword, the second floor does not appear to be a mimic.
Perfect. The second floor, and like this. Just can you imagine a story of a building being a mimic?
Uh-huh.
Just don't go onto the 13th floor. Why? It eats people. Like, that's horrifying.
Don't give the DM ideas, Nathan.
Oh, believe me, this is something I've already thought about.
Oh, don't remind the DM, Nathan.
That's just not okay on so many spiritual levels. How was that a thing that you came up with on your own?
It's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, what makes mimics bigger? Well, they feed, they live long. So the more the mimic feeds, the bigger it can get. How big can a mimic get if it just continues to feed without being killed? And you could eventually get building-sized mimics.
I mean, yes, but that's the difference. A building-sized mimic makes perfect sense to me because it's a building.
Yes, but if you have...
You notice the building. But how do you get, like, the 13th floor of an apartment building to be a mimic?
Oh, simple. The mimic basically layers itself on top of the floor or goes in and devours everything on the floor and then just expands itself to take its place.
Just disturbing.
Alrighty. So anyways, as you're...
Theo is giving me unpleasant dad looks. So I'm going to end my 2-hour adventure in the second floor of the tower by popping down to be like, hey.
Did you go
Second
anywhere?
The second floor has a really ugly looking bed, a locked chest, and nothing wants to try and kill you.
It bothers me that you ventured away from us alone, but I'll let it slide for now.
Hey,
Go to sleep.
at least I told you.
Yes.
And then Kay just literally runs away and goes to bed because he could have been a little shit and not told Theo jack all because, you know, they're in a
That's just our relationship.
Petty squabble.
It's just
I
our
think-
signature move.
yeah, just
I'm
casually bitching about each other. Yes,
it's just
great.
what we do.
So are you sleeping down here? Are you going up to the bed? What are you doing?
Oh, I've already determined that the bed isn't a great place to be.
Okay.
Because it like crumbled and I was a little disappointed.
That's fair.
Well, I'm going to sleep near-ish to the fire because additive warmth. Because I'm assuming we're warming the room with the fireplace. During most of my 2 hours, I'm assuming was the burning carpet. But now I assume we should probably be like stoking it before going to bed, but having just that still a nice fire to keep the room warm, keep us like at a healthy temperature instead of an outdoorsy freezing fucking cold temperature.
That's fair.
And I'm perfectly willing to, if there isn't firewood conveniently placed on the side of the fireplace, which I can't really tell from the image.
There is not.
I'm perfectly fine with dismantling are those chairs?
Yes.
The table. I'm perfectly fine with sacrificing chairs and a table to keep myself warm.
The table is stone. I'm pretty sure if you throw the table on that fire, the fire's going out. But the chairs you can dismantle. They're dry. They're old and kind of falling apart. But you managed to like chuck them in.
I am perfectly fine with burning those chairs.
The chairs no longer exist.
DM, what is this thing? Hang on.
What is what thing?
That thing.
That's the rug.
That's
Okay,
the
that's
rug.
the rug. Okay.
I really appreciate that you put that there.
Yeah, just
That was
had
the
to-
rug that
I had to
we
confirm.
Yeah, that was the rug that because at the end of last session at the end of the combat, Panther Annah or Annah 7 threw the rug at the fire, and so the rug is now laying by the fire and it's caught flame.
Okay.
By this point, it's probably mostly gone.
Okay. So
why the chairs? Anyways, carry on.
while everyone is still resting, I'm going to investigate the trapdoor
Okay.
real quickly. I guess I just want to take a look at it, see if it's got any like letters on it or writing, or I know it's got a slot for an orb, which
Well,
I'm guessing.
There is the orb already there.
Oh, there's already an orb there.
Yeah, it's embedded directly into the stone, so it's still a smooth top. but you can see where the orb is.
If I use detect magic, is it the same type of? It's obviously the same type of magic, I guess, as the orb at the door, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
There are also not any discernible runes on the trapdoor itself.
Any like handholds or anything?
Nope.
Okay, so it's just flat piece of stone.
Yeah.
If I move my hands around it, can I like lift it?
You can.
Or is it?
It's the outside edge is essentially flush with the floor.
Okay.
So you can make out clearly where the edge of this block is, because it is a different color and a different stone than the actual floor itself.
Yeah.
But it is flush with the floor.
Okay. I have a theory, but
There is a seam. Yes.
Yes.
There's a seam.
Yeah, it is a visible seam where you can see the two different types of rock butt up against each other.
And I can't lift it.
Yeah, you can't get your fingers into there. There's nothing to like dig in to get any kind of leverage on.
Okay. So just an orb that I definitely, if I put my hand on it, I can wiggle around.
Well, the orb itself doesn't move, but like as like very similar to the door of the tower itself.
Oh, okay.
Like if you move your hand near, you can kind of feel as it's trying to draw in magic.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that then.
No?
No, not right now. Because I have a theory, but I'm gonna withhold it for myself right now. Since Kay told me that the second floor is safe, I'm gonna go upstairs to the second floor.
Okay, you head on up to the second floor, and
again, does my detect magic pick up anything?
do.
Clearly something in the chest.
What did we have in the second floor?
I'm gonna sneeze. 'Cause it's so
Gesundheit.
dusty up here.
It is very dusty. Like there, like you can see like the spots where like Kay like hit things with his sword, because there's like a small parting in the dust.
His footsteps to exactly where he was.
Oh yeah, you know exactly where Kay was.
Just sigh. Just do a big.
At least I was thorough.
So as you cast detect magic and look around in the room, nothing's pinging your magic sense.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go over. There's a chest here.
There's a chest at the end of the bed, which is right here. And then there was the night tables here and here.
Okay.
And then there's the dresser here.
And a dresser here. How big is the dresser? Like, is it my waist? Could it swallow me whole?
The dresser is like a full size dresser, like, so it probably comes up to like just at like the base of the sternum essentially is
Okay, yeah. And it's a chest of drawers.
Yeah.
Okay. And nothing is picking up my. Okay, well, I'm very cautiously just going to go to the end table first. Actually, taking just a quick look, I imagine this bed is so old that I cannot discern which side of the bed was mostly slept on.
Not even remotely.
That's what I thought.
Especially since Kay has stabbed it.
Especially since Kay has stabbed it.
And it disintegrated when parts of it disintegrated when I stabbed it, or like started to crumble.
Yeah.
All right then, I'll go to the one nightstand then, and whatever left, I'll just quickly like peek into it. See if
Okay.
there's anything.
So you go up to the nightstand. The door's kind of stiff and hard to pull open. Give me a strength check.
Oh, you want a strength check?
Don't worry, it's not a high DC.
How are you saying?
Let's say first roll of the night. How good? Okay.
Oh, it's a 16, yo.
It's a little stiff at first, but you just kind of. It's like the wood is kind of like settled into itself. So you just kind of like grab onto the edge and kind of give it a pull, and you manage to dislodge it, and the drawer slides open. Within the nightstand, you find a small leather pouch. There's a couple of brass rings in that first night table, and like the night table itself is just like the single drawer, and then like essentially the legs holding it up.
Yeah.
How many brass rings?
There's 2 brass rings
2. Yeah.
and a small leather pouch.
Okay. If I look at the rings, is there any like markings? Are they plain?
They're very plain.
Very plain. Okay. And that's all I find in that nightstand?
Yeah, that's everything that you find inside the nightstand.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the other nightstand, open that up.
Okay. Opening up the second nightstand, you do find a brass letter opener.
Oh.
It's relatively ornate. Like, it's not the greatest condition. Like, it is tarnished to hell. It has not been cared for in a long time. So, like, the edge is completely dull. Like, during the time that it was in better condition, it was heavily used.
There's no stabbing anybody with this letter opener.
You could stab someone with it, but if you try and, like, drag it across someone's skin, the most you're going to give them is maybe tetanus. And there is a rusted lantern.
Tetanus.
Maybe tetanus. A rusted lantern.
Okay.
And that is what you find inside the second nightstand.
I'm gonna go up to the chest and I'm gonna kick it.
Ka-thunk. It moves slightly. It's like the impact from your foot like pushes it back like a quarter inch.
Excellent. I'm gonna open it.
There is a heavy lock on the front of the chest.
Ah, shit. Shit balls.
Do you think Kay would have literally not tried to open a chest if he didn't see it was locked and realized he had nothing to try and open it with?
Phil wasn't paying attention to you being upstairs. Phil wasn't there.
Wait, Theo should know Kay at least enough to know that he is attracted to all obvious points of treasure.
You missed the brass ring, so I'm gonna go to the wardrobe.
Obvious points of treasure.
I'm gonna go to the
Who
wardrobe.
the fuck keeps things that are important in a dresser?
And I'm actually, before I go to the wardrobe, I'm actually gonna knock politely. Oh no, it's a chest of drawers. I keep thinking of wardrobe. It's a chest of drawers, so I'll open up the chest of drawers and hope that nothing else there is inside.
I'm gonna knock politely on the wardrobe. Aslan just takes it. Yes.
Maybe it's a poltergeist and it swallows me, okay?
So the you go up the wooden dresser, and once again, it's just heavily layered with dust. You kind of you have much of the night tables. You kind of have to like pry the drawers open because they have long since settled into themselves. And there's numerous sets of very old clothes. Most of them are like falling apart. Holes have deteriorated and decayed through them. But while the clothes are not in the greatest condition, just from taking a look at them, they look like they were somewhat regal clothes at one point in time.
Yo, we're in a rich person's house.
That was its tower, so I'm not surprised. Is there any like crest or
Someone's
anything?
being
Any what?
virtuous.
Is there any like crest or anything sewn into any of the fabric?
Roll me an investigation check.
Ooh, investigation, you say? I love investigation.
None that you recognize.
I rolled a 14.
14.
I wish it was the second number. The second number is much nicer.
Yeah, that 21 on the other side just taunts you.
21 that just taunts me.
So you go kind of digging through the clothes, and like most of them, like you're not able to find any kind of like crest or specific sigil or anything like that. But while you are digging through the clothes, what you do find is an almost knife-like stone slab. And by knife-like, I mean like the general shape. It looks like it has like a handle, a pair of notches outwards, and then it's square for the most part, but comes to a diamond tip, like a a pyramid type tip. And it is stone. You do see etched into its surface there are some runes, but there's even with your detect magic, it doesn't appear to be giving off any kind of magical aura.
Okay. I will pocket it for now.
Okay.
Now the next question is am I feeling lucky punk? If
I don't know. Are you?
If I stand at
Do
the
you
bottom
feel
of the stairs
lucky,
and I strain my ears forward,
punk?
can I hear anything?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. 15.
You hear Case snoring downstairs.
I'm going to creep, and I'm just gonna poke my head up to the third floor like this. Just take a quick scan of the upper room.
That friendly moment when Kay is dreaming about how he was being scolded for adventuring deeper into the tower without supervision.
How much into the room are you going?
I'm literally poking my head up so I can see above the floor.
So you get your eyes just up over the ridge of the floor and looking around. You see a little bit of moonlight coming in from the roof.
Okay.
There's a hole of some sort up there. The banister is kind of blocking your view in. And there is a desk of some sort in the middle of the room. But yeah, there's like a railing along the edge. So like if just peeking up barely, like you're able to kind of get a view underneath a little bit. And yeah, you can see a little bit. Like you can see a splotch of moonlight on the floor. You can see a desk or something in the middle of the room, and some books on the floor.
And of course I have to ask the stupid question was, does my detect magic set off anything?
Let me take a look at what I put into the upper room.
Oh god, you're probably gonna find someone's corpse, aren't you?
Neat.
What is this, Helsinger Bridge? Get that shit out of here.
There's a couple pings of magic that you note inside the room. But you're like normally detect magic. Does detect magic tell you what type of magic, or is it only that magic exists?
Pretty sure it only tells me that magic exists.
Detect.
Magic.
Yeah, it says, and you learn at School of Magic, if any. The magic that you're noting is of an you're not certain what its origin is.
Okay.
Woo!
Are you venturing further into the room, or are you going back down?
I'm gonna go pick up a book from the floor.
So you are going into the upper room. Alrighty. In that case, I need to go.
And
Aw,
the
damn
floor
it.
begins to eat Jamie.
And then. So as you enter into the room,
I'm just gonna move myself here.
yeah. As you enter into the room, you find yourself in what looks to be what was once a study of some sort.
Yeah.
While the majority of the tower has, like, throughout the inside has been in fairly good condition aside from things being knocked about, in the roof there is actually a hole, some rocks and rubble on the floor beneath it, the moonlight kind of cascading down into the room. You can see along the east wall, a small cupboard with a few drawers. On the north wall, you see a heavy set of cloth blinds. The blinds themselves are not in the greatest condition, but they still look like they're fairly sturdy. But then you kind of think back to when you were outside. There was no windows on the outside of this tower.
No.
In the center of the room, there was a large wooden desk. An ornate chair lay sprawled on the ground near it. And there was a large bookcase that was originally against the west wall that has since toppled onto the... So it's now laying face down on top of the desk. Its books scattered on the floor and across the surface of the desk.
Do I get any pings from the books?
Now that you're actually in the room, you're like able to like see what there is. You actually see 2 scrolls.
Okay.
That is what is
Okay.
scrolls, and that is what's pinging your detect magic. They are on a bit more of a like sturdier cloth-like material, whereas a lot of the other things in here are paper.
If I pick up the scrolls, I walk over to the desk, just pick up the scrolls.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You
I
can pick up the scrolls.
Take a quick look at them.
So the scrolls themselves are runic in nature, as opposed to what you're used to when it came to like the arcane sigils and stuff like that.
Okay.
From what you're able to actually roll me an Arcana check.
Give 5 seconds, Arcana.
Nat 20.
I went to school, bitch!
You did. Actually, out of all the people here, you getting the nat 20 on that makes the most sense too. That being said, these are old spells. Like, you're not sure exactly what they are. The first scroll is clearly a spell that is offensive in nature. You figure that you probably have about a 60-foot range with casting it, and judging by like the runes and the imagery on it, you figure it probably has something to do with fire. The second scroll appears to be defensive in nature. And it seems like it's like from the runes, like there's you catch like hits of little things that are kind of similar to the arcane sigils, and suddenly implying hardness or transmutation of some sort, but is something that is cast on the user of the scroll.
If I look at any of the books, and I pick up any of the books, do I see a theme?
Most of the books are heavily caked in dust, so you're gonna actually have to start interacting with some of the books.
Okay. I will start picking them up and
Roll me
them off.
a sleight of hand, because these books are old as
okay.
fuck. So they're definitely not.
Good at sleight of hand.
15 still not bad. The first book you go and you grab, and you just kind of like roughly grab it and pick it up, and as you like are turning in your hand, like you watch like half of the cover just sloughs off to the ground, just it's like, oh yeah, old, and like you like turning some of the pages, like it like rips through some of the pages, and like just kind of like set the book down. But after that, the first disastrous interaction with the book, you kind of like, okay, I got to be a lot more careful with this. And like very delicately, you're like moving a book onto a desk and like carefully turning pages, like very slowly. You still do end up ripping some of the pages and damaging some of the books. But what you're able to glean for the most part, a lot of the books are written in Elven. Well, actually, what other languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial, Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Okay. Roll me a history check.
Cool.
I went to fucking school.
Yeah, roll me a history check.
Yes, I will roll a history check.
Someone's just so edumacated.
Oh, I know nothing.
You find a couple of books that you find a few books that you look at and you're just like, what language is in? Like, you're like, I should know this. Is this like Gnomish or
Is it handwritten?
no?
Are they handwritten books? Damn, I was gonna say if it was handwritten, it's like it's Elvish, but I can't fucking read the chicken scratch.
But you're looking at it, it's like, is this like Gnomish or maybe Troll?
Dialect of
Orc?
Elvish
I don't know.
I've never read before. I don't fucking know what this is.
You're staring at one book and you're like, God, I must be tired. I can't read this for shit.
Cock-a-doodle doo?
Cock-a-doodle tone. That's what that is.
Don't, yeah, it is chicken scratch.
But there are quite a few books that are written in Elven. And a lot of them seem to be study of anatomy of various creatures, textbooks, herbology. At one point you find one book you're like kind of flipping through it. It looks like a journal initially, and then you get to one page you're like, nope, this is just smut.
See, what hurts me is that's what I was expecting from Theo. Part of it just immediately like, whoop, I saw something I shouldn't, followed by a, but I'm curious.
Are you taking the smut book?
Oh, okay.
What is ancient smut like?
You're asleep.
Maybe I'm dreaming ancient smut. You don't know. You don't know what Kay dreams. Kay doesn't know what Kay dreams.
Which is probably for the best.
Okay.
But But yeah, those are the majority of the books that are just out and about on the floor and on the desk.
Anatomy, herbology, smut.
Textbooks of varying things. Most
Books of various
I mean,
things.
we're assuming a wizard did live here, Jamie.
I'm assuming, yes, a wizard did live here. I'm assuming it was very lonely wizard.
You don't have to be lonely to read smut.
Maybe
this
he liked to
wizard-
share his interests with his or her
Is the smut handwritten?
callers.
The smut is not handwritten.
Damn it!
Damn it.
Fanfiction! Oh my god, that would have been so good.
Damn
the
it!
Twist, the twist. It was just from fanfiction.
Oh, I just want a wizard wrote fanfiction. Come on. No. I'd read it.
Go talk to Oz. You don't know what they're into.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like if this book wasn't so old, I feel like I'm actually how damaged is this smut book?
The book is really old. Like even for like Elvish dialect, like it's you can tell like this is like old Elvish dialect.
Okay. Yeah, I can't understand it.
You can understand it, but it's like reading Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like, you can get the general gist, but the wording and the phraseology is kind of foreign to you.
Yeah.
The phraseology.
Yeah.
There's a word.
What does it mean? A part of me kind of wants to like take the book downstairs with me.
Nothing's stopping you.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to take the smut book with me.
That's the rest of your night before going to bed is reading smut.
No. Old Shakespearean smut. I do kind of want to check out the last dresser though. Is there actually are there any drawers on the desk?
There most certainly are.
Okay. I'm just gonna complete this out, and I won't look at the curtain just yet, but I will take a look at the desk, and then I'll take a look at the last drawer.
So the drawer on the desk does have has a keyhole on it, and as you try and pull on the drawer, it is currently locked.
Fuck. Okay.
This is why you can't have anything.
I'll go check out the drawer. This is the last thing.
You're going and checking out the dresser, or the chest, I mean. Okay. So the drawers, once again, they're fairly stiff, but you do manage to pull them free. You get the top drawer open, and you see various dried ink bottles, some quills. As soon as you try and touch one of the quills, you just feel crumble to dust in your fingers. The ink bottles are long since dried out. Going into the second drawer, there's several brittle notebooks laying about.
Do they have any writing in them?
Trying to leaf through them, you're just kind of gently flipping through them. You find that they're blank.
Damn it.
As most notebook.
But roll me.
A notebook is either completely full or completely empty. There is no in between state.
Roll me an investigation check.
I just want to know the fancy of this guy. Investigation?
Yeah.
You're so desperate for finding out smut, aren't you?
You know, it's not so much I'm desperate, it's more like that would just make it would fulfill my current headcanon of the person who lives here.
I mean, what's important is it doesn't matter. What your headcanon is probably true because it's our DM. You met him, right?
Yeah. Alright, rolled a 14.
Uh,
in investigation.
So as you're kind of thumbing through the books, you hear the ting is looking down you're what? And you see this little key and opening up the book that you're holding in your hand a bit wider. You note that there was a keyhole or basically the shape of a key cut into the pages, and a key was placed inside.
Well, I look at the desk. Does it look like the key will fit?
Plausibly.
I'm gonna go over and try to open up the desk.
So you go over to the desk.
Died at some
Probably.
The desk comes alive now. No.
He was just taking on so many risks. Not even Kay was.
Kay at least stabbed things first.
Yeah, I was at least being paranoid enough to destroy the things that could potentially murder me or be of value. You're just but value. I'm expecting you to get face hugged by a book.
I've discovered that this man or woman loves brass. Received mail, was very high standing, had an inkling for herbology and anatomy and other textbooks, and also read smut. So
I love how he's and also read smut. Just here's this long list of things we know about this
possibly
man.
elvish.
And the most important thing is smut.
But mostly smut. Could I tell if the clothing downstairs was feminine or male?
It's androgynous. Just to throw you.
It leaned more towards the feminine.
There we go. It was a woman that lived here. I think. Actually, I say it's a woman. It could have also been a man who liked to dress up in women's clothing. Or maybe transvestite and was just gender fluid. We're just gonna keep going.
They lived a life. They were here.
They had clothes. They had clothes.
Yeah.
So you go over to the desk and like you put the key in. You're like turning. It's a little bit stiff initially. Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, dexterity.
Yeah, roll me a dexterity check. I'm curious.
Things.
Because I'm a terrible human being.
And you keep touching shit. So you know what?
How does it feel?
Like
15.
So you slide the key into the slot. And you're like twisting, and you just manage to move it enough as it like turns as like the end of the key breaks off. But you did manage to get the turn before to unlock the drawer before the thing broke.
she's gonna be too busy fixing her freaking dog.
She's already fixed.
Dog is already fixed. It just has a bit of a limp.
It's Sylvania, okay? She's gonna be like, dog still has a limp. I need to find the source of this limp.
Yep. It's like, which gear is not sitting in the right place? So inside the drawer, there's a package wrapped in a brown waxy paper and tied with twine. As you interact,
I'm really upset you didn't say string, because it could have been someone's favorite thing, and now I'm just upset.
oh, poor Kay.
I'm dreaming about a lot of real weird shit.
You are.
today.
But yeah, you can see this brown package. Judging from what else you've seen in the room, it's probably a book. It's bookish size. What are you doing with the package? Are you leaving it? Are you grabbing it?
No, I'm grabbing the package.
Okay.
I'm grabbing the package. Detect magic.
Before
You're
or after grabbing the package.
I'm gonna grab it.
grab the package and then cast detect magic.
Cast detect magic.
I'm so stressed for Theo. Like, what is going on? I'm like, the person who's dumb enough to like just do random shit. Is
Don't
it?
worry.
Actually,
Don't worry. Don't
also Theo,
Yes.
you know what we have been forgetting to do?
You haven't been.
Detect
rolling
magic
for
is a
a
first
while.
level spell.
Oh, okay, that's right. Well, no, for me.
You can cast it at will, but it's still a first level spell. It's like with Sylvania, or a ritual casting alarm. It is still a spell. It doesn't cost anything but time, but it's still a spell.
How many
Shrink
times have I
11
cast?
inches.
How many times have I cast it?
Have you been trying to maintain it the entire time you've been investigating, or
No, I would have cast it 3 times.
then yeah, 3 times.
I'm just gonna roll 3d20. Oh, no.
12, a 7, and a 4.
Yeah.
So you did not surge on any of them.
Hooray.
Son of a bitch.
That'd have been. Honestly, I think it'd have been hilarious if you got a surge and then shrank.
Inches.
Really shrank.
It's like so far the only wild magic surge we've hit is people shrinking.
Yeah,
Would-
make Kay the tallest person in the group again.
Make make K tall again. But no, the book itself does not give off magic. As you interact with the twine, like it just much like the quills, it just crumbles, and you can practically just like brush the twine away from the package.
Okay. I'm gonna take the book, and I'm gonna go to the first floor.
Okay, dunk 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 down to the first floor.
I'm gonna go wake up.
Sylvania.
Oh no,
No,
Sylvania.
Sylvania is next.
Oh, Sylvania's next?
Yep, Sylvania's next.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Syl. And
So,
I'm gonna
so.
shake Syl awake. And I guess it's me playing Syl, so I'm just gonna roleplay with myself essentially, which is, you know. I'm going to just let her know that I investigated the upper floors, and and I found this book. And I think it's a book, and I'd like to take a look at it, but I think, we should maybe look at it together? Would you like that, Syl? And I'm gonna say that.
Trying to read smut with Sylvania?
No, the book in the package. K.
I'm sorry.
The secret book.
My brain went to the not secret book.
Also, I found this old elvish book. I don't think mending can work on it. I'm pretty sure it's Shakespearean smut, and I put it gently down on the stone
I honestly feel like Syl would be like, what? Ooh,
Yeah,
that
what?
sounds interesting.
Except Sylvania cannot read Elvish.
Sylvania cannot read elvish, yeah, so I'm gonna have to translate that for people later if they want that. I want it. I can't.
Yeah, you just hear Anna off in the corner just, I want it.
Oh my god, actually, can I do that? Can I put the book in like a special case and then like I'm just gonna like grab a journal and I'm gonna try and translate it into comic.
You're just gonna try and transcribe old
I'm
smut,
gonna
like
transcribe
just like translate it and
Okay,
write it down.
so added.
Stories
The
don't make it through decades.
The last page is going to crumble before you can find out the ending. Is it? Is
She'll
it
make up her own.
Yeah, we'll make up our own. It'll be a wonderful group bonding exercise.
And then they sell it and make millions.
Yeah, and then we
or
sell it
of
and make
gold.
millions. Anyway,
Because I don't know what the state of smut culture is in this world. It may or may not exist.
Nathan, it's sex. It probably does very well.
Roll me a investigation check with advantage.
Investigation with advantage, you say?
Yes, for Theioryn.
14.
14? Like, you take a little bit, like, you're, like, trying to, like, carefully wipe off the dust off of the cover.
Yeah.
And between the cover and the spine, you're able to kind of determine that the book was called The Weight of His Burden. So you can add in old book The Weight of His Burden to your inventory.
Oh, I sure fucking will.
Feeling when we get back to a next town, it's
Fun.
don't forget about the book and have it end up in the water and then immediately crumble.
I don't want that. Anyway,
You don't want it, that doesn't mean
No.
it's not gonna happen.
So, with Sylvania awake,
Yep.
I would like to unwrap the second book. I'm not going back to bed. I read enough.
You didn't. You only rested 2 hours.
Damn it.
This is why you should never go second. Just
It's fine, I
go
got one
third.
more.
So you unwrap the second book.
Yeah.
And opening the book up, like the cover, it has a, like, despite the condition of the other books in the room, wrapped in this brown paper, like this book seems still in fairly good condition. The cover has a circle with a plethora of tiny runes contained within it. The book's paper, it is still delicate, but not brittle like the books and papers you had found elsewhere in the room. Looking through it, at first glance, it appears to be a spell book of some sort, though, once again, with it being, it's less of a language and more runic symbols. So it's very hard to kind of decipher what a lot of these are. You can give me an Arcana check.
I was gonna say, do I recognize any of the runes?
Give me an Arcana check.
I don't recognize any of these. I rolled a 10.
Yeah, you're you're not entirely sure what kind of spells or what the process of these just being outlined is. It might be possible for other people to find out, but at first perusing yourself, you're not able to determine.
Bring it back to our wizard friend. Got it.
So what is Sylvania doing whilst you're perusing this book?
Well, I was hoping we could peruse it together, but we can't read it, so I'm imagining Syl is bored now.
Tinker with dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Sylvania, like, as soon as you realize, like, I can't read, that's, like, automatically just, like, dismantling one of Dog's legs.
Yep. That's exactly what she's gonna... I can't read that. She's gonna... Yep. Hang on, I'm just gonna quickly look at her equipment.
She has some.
She has some equipment.
She does.
She's... Yep. She's gonna go upstairs, I think, actually. To keep things moving along, I'm gonna give her like a rundown of everything I've discovered upstairs.
Okay.
And blah blah, and of course I show her the books. And as I'm searching through the runic book, I'm gonna have to still go upstairs.
To which floor? 1, 2, or 3? Well,
Just
I guess
to
2 or
this
3.
floor,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have her take a look at that lock.
Okay, what is Sylvania doing to the lock?
How old and rusted is it?
Very.
Does it look like a good hit would smash that thing off?
Potentially.
She's gonna hit it.
With what?
With her lance.
Okay.
Crowbar. She's
She
got
has
a
a
crowbar.
crowbar?
She's gonna hit it with her crowbar.
Okay.
Why doesn't she crowbar it with her crowbar?
She's gonna crowbar it with her crowbar.
Why not actually use the crowbar to pry the chest open?
She's gonna hit it with her crowbar.
Okay, roll
And
me...
just for fun, the dog is gonna be up there too. I can't move dog.
You can't move dog. Allow me to fix that. Double click.
Reading shit.
Controlled by all players. Save changes. You can now move dog.
Yay! Dog's gonna come up.
Okay. You mean the crowbar?
Whack it with the hammer.
Okay, she's gonna whack it with a hammer. Okay, give me a strength check.
19!
19. Sylvania managed to get a nice good swing right down onto the edge of it, and downstairs you just hear the chunk as the hammer collides with the lock, and does manage to break the lock open.
Woo!
I would like Sylvania to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Shit!
Knew it! I knew it was a trap!
9!
9.
Fuck!
Give me a moment.
That's a good sign.
I got too cocky.
Uh-huh.
We break dog, we break Syl.
Sylvania takes 8 points of piercing damage.
Fuck!
As the lock shatters, there seems to have been some sort of contraption within the lock itself that basically just erupts and sends small shards out in various directions. And, yeah, Sylvania takes 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points?
8.
8.
This
Okay.
is what happens when you force shit open.
You know what? I opened it.
Kay learned this shit in a different
Gonna
realm.
You unlocked it.
She's gonna say, obviously she's gonna let out a cry of pain because she just got stabbed everywhere.
Yep.
And I'm probably gonna hear it. When I say probably, Thail's probably gonna hear it.
Probably.
Thail's gonna run up the stairs and go, what happened? And then it's gonna figure out, oh fuck, the chest was booby trapped.
Who'da thunk it?
And
Who'd have thought that the obvious
who'da
treasure
thought?
device that the person who takes obvious treasure didn't touch because last time he lost an arm because of it.
Thail's
mean-
gonna tell the voice that sounds suspiciously like just K in his head to stop talking.
Okay, so Theo runs upstairs to check on Sylvania, who is currently bleeding.
Who's currently bleeding. He's gonna quickly roll 2d6 for healing light.
Okay.
She gets back 6 HP.
Okay.
She's sitting at 22 now. And then together we're gonna make the decision. Let's not do this anymore, and we're gonna go back downstairs.
Okay.
But would Sylvania really do that after all that pain, though? She would be like, no, I'm infested. I need to know what's inside the chest.
I think maybe we're gonna wait just a little long. I think Theo's gonna be like, maybe let's wait until we have more meat shields.
More meat shields. So glad to know that Theo thinks the rest of the party has meat shields.
No, Theo doesn't think that. Theo is gonna say, maybe let's wait until both Anna and Kay are awake, and we can maybe stand back and
Make one of them do it.
in the chest. We've already. Well, it's actually yeah, because I don't know if there's gonna be a second booby trap in there. So I'm just good. We're just gonna leave it. We're gonna wait.
Gonna wait until Kay actively goes, wait, you opened the chest and bolts upstairs.
Alriady.
That's exactly right. And then Theo will round out the rest of his
Meditation.
meditation.
Okay. So I'm guessing Sylvania spends the rest of the time fixing dog.
Yeah.
Okay, by the time Sylvania's watch comes and ends, Sylvania's gotten that limp out of dog.
Hooray!
So Sylvania's rest comes to an end. How is Sylvania waking up Annah?
She goes up to Anna and she goes, Anna.
Yep.
Anna.
Hi, Sil. Hi. Wow.
Hi. So, there's a chest upstairs. It was booby trapped. It really hurt. Don't touch it. Theo went all the way up to the top floor and he found a smut book. But the smut book is really old and he can't quite read it. But he translated the cover, and he wants to translate it because it sounds like fun. But he also found that crazy rune spell book, and he can't read that either. And
What use is Theo right now? Like, oh damn! This thing. Nah, he can't do anything with this thing. He really wants to try and do something with this, but nah.
As
really.
Anna wakes up, she feels like Kay is kind of rubbing off on Syl as far as waking up manners go. Like, oh man.
Not wrong.
Isn't Syl still like bitterly angry at all of you for like this side plot for Jamie's demon to murder us all?
Yeah, that was my fault.
That was.
we talked about that. I said I don't have a demon.
Yeah, but that's what someone without a demon, with the demon would say.
You know what? They said just don't worry about it. I don't have a
He's
demon.
gonna drink in his dream.
So, and then yeah, that's still gonna just. What are there's a chest upstairs. I tried to open it. I smashed open the lock, and it hurt me.
Oh, do you
Theo
need
maybe-
Slugsworth?
Theo made me better.
Oh, okay.
His hand's like, I have slug? Oh.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Theo made me
Hopefully
better. Yeah,
Okay, so Anna.
that's it.
Okay.
So far, no more rugs. But be careful.
Oh, good. I hate rugs. I'm gonna go over here and just kind of stomp on any remaining bits of the rug. Unless it's all smoldered away now.
Yeah, there's still little bits and baubles that you can like go over and you kind of like stomp on them and kick the rest of the little scraps into the fire.
Cool. Yeah, very spitefully. All right. So now, regarding this trap door thing
Yeah.
here, because I haven't done any sort of looking at it. Can I tell what sort of magic is radiating from it?
Do you have detect magic or anything like that, or identify or anything like that?
No. It would just be a regular old arcana to see if anything good happens.
She can pull something interesting out of her backside to be like, actually.
You can give me an arcana. You can give me an arcana check if you'd like.
Retrospects and goes, actually, this brand of magic is conjuration.
19.
It's indicative of
And just-
the 19th period of
Whack the education hat off of Theo just with gusto. Whack.
damn.
He went to
Oh,
school.
that arcana check is almost perfect.
Almost. That being said, well, yeah, it was 17. That being said, without detect magic or identify or anything like that, you're not able to necessarily glean like the school magic or the source magic or anything like that. You're able to see the orb in the center, and like you get the feeling like especially based off of how you guys got into the building, it's probably of a similar nature. And like as you're like kind of touching around, you place your hand near the orb at one point as you're like kind of searching about, and you do kind of start to feel that like trying to like draw spells from you.
Alright, I'm gonna take my dagger, and I'm gonna make like a small cut on my finger and squeeze out some blood on the orb.
Okay, you make a tiny cut on your finger, and there's now a droplet of blood on the orb.
Alright, no reaction.
It does not appear to be made of blood magic.
Damn.
Or
Right.
react to blood in any way.
So, because Syl was saying something about a chest that she had already disengaged the booby trap on it, Anna's gonna come up to the room here.
Okay.
It's gonna stand on the bed. Can it hold my weight?
As you step onto the mattress, how much does Anna weigh? Anna doesn't weigh that much.
No, not too much at all. 85 pounds.
You kind of climb on the bed and like, okay, that's 1 foot, 2 feet. You get a little bit over, and then you just hear the as like one of the the slats underneath just kind of breaking, and as the one breaks, the whole thing just kind of cascade starts like. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Anna broke the bed.
I hope they didn't hear that.
19. You manage to like, as soon as like you start to feel it like falling, you kind of like hop off the bed, and you just watch this and like all the slats break. Downstairs, you all just hear the boom as the mattress was left of the mattress flops down, hits the ground. It's not gonna not hold your weight now, I suppose.
While standing on it,
Oh, gross.
am I still like over the chest, or is this a really big chest that comes up to like my chest?
It's a bigger chest, but it's not like chest high chest.
Right.
But you're able to get behind it, and
Okay, I'm gonna take my
In front of
grappling
it,
hook,
and on top
and
of it.
so from behind it, I'm going to use my grappling hook to snag the lid and pull the lid back and open it.
okay.
I just appreciate the varying degrees of like absurdity we are going through in this tower because someone got eaten by a rug.
One person gets eaten by a rug, and suddenly everyone thinks everything's a fucking mimic.
I'm just gonna go out and say that that's D&D, yo.
Yeah.
You can instantly, you can smash a lock and get cocky and lose 8 HP.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Yeah.
I
You
got
could
cocky.
Yeah, you do a thing, right?
Be honest, I just got I got cocky.
You did. So, and as you pull on your grappling hook, the lid does kind of like tip open and then kind of latch into place. Nothing appears to be exploding from the chest.
Great. I'm gonna go walk around to the front of the chest and see what I can see inside of it.
Okay. Where's my chest?
Anna's gonna
Right
try
here.
and make a friend.
So inside the chest, you've seen numerous dark brown glass bottles. Several of the bottles are empty, but there are still 4 that are firmly corked. Their wax tops still covering the bottles, and liquid is still inside. If you dust off any of the labels of bottles, easily discernible. Like, while the label is mostly faded, these are bottles of whiskey.
Alright.
At this point, extremely old whiskey.
Aged whiskey is always appreciated by some of us.
Enough to put it in a locked.
Wrapped chest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And roll me an investigation check.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Fae? What?
Oh
But
yeah, I guess it's a fail.
Dark red.
Sorry.
It's a crit fail.
That's a crit
Sorry,
fail.
Yep, it's a crit fail.
So yeah, like, as you're like rummaging about, like that, you're just able to find the four formerly corked bottles. The rest of the balls are seemingly empty. There's no liquid that you can note in them.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to pick up the 4 bottles and take them downstairs with me.
Okay. You have 4 bottles of very old whiskey.
And I will deposit them on the table. And I will resume my watch playing with Beanard.
Okay.
Just like, yeah. It's gonna be a really boring watch, I think.
Rated some alcohol. Y'all is fine.
Uh,
Read the book. Read the smut book and magic book.
Read this smut book.
Is it out?
Are you?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
left it
nap?
on the stone table.
Did you finish transcribing it in only
No.
2 hours?
No, I transcribed the title. This is because I have a hard time reading it. Doesn't mean that somebody else will have a hard time reading it.
I don't think I can read the language.
And
Oh,
Anna
no.
Anna, do you read Elvish?
No.
Oh no.
Then you can't understand what it says.
Right? Okay. Well. Yeah. And I have no further exploring I want to do without the party.
Okay. So the rest of your watch goes by very, very relaxing. You just sit back, play with Beanard. And yeah, as morning kind of dawns and people are starting to naturally wake up. And,
What did everyone do?
yeah, how was it? How was everyone's night?
Well, I got some whiskey.
What?
Where did you find the
Err.
whiskey?
I was in the chest that you guys disarmed.
Oh, that was what was in the chest.
Wait, you guys disarmed something?
Well,
Leo, I
Sylvan-
thought you taught it was bad to wander around the tower alone.
It is bad to wander the tower around alone when you don't know anything that's gonna get you.
Says the one who explored more than anyone else.
And it's just cows.
By the way, I went all the way up to the 3rd floor last night. I found a bunch of interesting things that I'll pull out. The
Smut.
leather pouch, the on the table next to the book of smut and the runic book. I'll pull out the leather pouch. Is the leather pouch empty?
You never checked.
I never checked. I pull out the ledger pouch. I pull out the old brass rings. I pull out the old tarnished letter opener. The stone
Cool.
dagger, friggin' thing. I pull out the 2 scrolls and
Hey,
the 2 books.
K, being K, is going to immediately be gravitated towards the pouch because it seems like it contains something that is easily accessible to him.
Yeah, I
He's
haven't
gonna-
opened it yet.
So cool. So K is gonna beeline for it and try and open the pouch and see what's inside.
Okay, roll me a dexterity check.
Yeah, I figured.
Just a check, not a save, just a check.
That's fair. That's just rolling a d20 plus something, isn't it?
Plus dex.
I don't remember.
You can actually just click your dexterity and it'll do a dexterity check.
I've forgotten how to do this. It's in here somewhere. Hold on.
Journal,
Do it.
which is like your second tab.
That one.
There you go. That's a save. You just want to check.
Son of a bitch. I don't know where to click for just the check.
You click on where it says dexterity
You just click
to the left.
Oh, you have
There
to
you
click the word.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Okay.
4. So Kay, you grab this pouch and you just rip it open.
Sure,
the-
don't
it-
wait for me to talk about everything.
It's old leather. It's pretty fragile. You just kind of like push. and coins fall to the table. 4 gold and 8 silver worth.
Are they mine now?
They're currently scattered on the table.
I think you.
Dibs on taking up all of them.
How about you share each gold and you can have a silver? Technically, I found it. The rules of finders keepers does apply.
But you never opened the package.
No, because I wanted to share it with the rest of you. Now, before we moving
Sure.
on. Yes.
He wanted to share it
I
with
did.
I'm calling such
Why
bullshit.
would I not pull it out if I wasn't going to share it? Anyway, before Kay freaked out because
Phrasing.
I decided to go to the top
Phrasing.
floor after I determined that it was safe and there were no crazy carpets that were going to eat me. I found these 2 scrolls. From what I can determine, one is an offensive fire spell, and one is a defensive self spell. Although I'm not sure what either does. Funny little stone dagger covered in runes. Some old brass things, which I thought I pocketed because I think still you might find these fun. I'm not sure. Brass is a fun little metal. And then I found these 2 books. One book is really not important. I just find it funny. Seems to be a runic. Another spell seems to be a runic spell book that I can't read, but maybe our wizard friend who sent us here might enjoy. Other than that, though, the only thing that I haven't really looked into is there appears to be a curtain upstairs. Which is weird because there's no windows outside. I didn't look behind that. Kay, you will wait 5 minutes. And, of course, whatever is beneath that trap door that I didn't want to open last night until we were all awake.
So no weapons and no crystals, which is what we were here to find.
Exactly. No weapons, no crystals. Just, some odd knickknacks. And a book that I find funny.
Should we get the curtain out of the way
Funny.
and then tackle this door here?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Kay!
Kay bolts up the stairs. The moment the group agreed, he is gone. He is pulling, y'all blinked, and he is suddenly, boom, up here. I think this is the curtain.
Yeah.
He
By
is
the way,
gone.
But as Kay is running up the stairs, I just say to Syl and Anna, we all remember that the one chest was booby-trapped. So we'll just let him learn if this is booby-trapped or not.
So, Kay, you're sprinting up the stairs?
I am not sprinting. I am moving as quickly as I can up fragile wood because fragile wood is sketchy as fuck.
Anna, if he hurts himself, will you use Slugsworth?
It's pleasure.
Make sure he is extra slimy.
Yeah, it's not like I'm skipping steps. It's just I'm going. No,
Yeah.
do it every
kind of
third step.
Picture you
Very
traveling up the
specifically.
stairs with hands and legs, when
Yeah,
you
so
get
do I.
upstairs.
I mean, Kay would absolutely do that, but then that's lightly distributing weight over 4 points over the cross of multiple stairs instead of breaking them all.
So Kay boogies up to the top floor, gets the curtains, and are you just whipping open those curtains?
You better fucking believe I am just like I am doing it like a mom in a teenager's bedroom the first night they are hungover and they blacked out the curtains and the mom walks over to the curtains and goes, "Frish!" That's exactly how Kay is gonna open those curtains.
Okay. You run up and you grab those curtains and you swing them as wide as you can. Why don't you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, no, that checks out. I'm fine with this. Hold on. So that's this one, right?
Yes.
Correct.
13. You fling them open and you're like, and then suddenly you feel tongue on your head as the sudden abrupt shift has knocked the rail free, the bar loose, which then drops and lands on your head. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Be like, "Whoa."
As
But what does Kay see?
Kay sees a
Also,
window.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Kay was at full health when that happened.
Yes, because this is after your long rest.
Cool, I just need to make sure because my health is not updated for long rest yet.
Yeah, everyone can long rest themselves.
Hit the long rest button. I can't hit the long rest button on Sylvania.
I just did it. If you refresh, then Sylvania should be good.
Alright, cool. Oh, doesn't Syl have the 2 points of health or damage from when she was?
No, because that was your healing and benefits. Yeah, the healing and the benefits that you get of a long rest all occur at the very end of a long rest.
Sure. Okay. Moving on. I am staring out a window, which is from Kay's perspective, obviously magical because there were no windows.
Yeah, you're staring out.
He is 110% assuming, and he knows nothing, but he is assuming this is a magical object.
So as you're looking out the window, and you can see like the wetlands and the ruins of what was once a great city, and yeah, it's like this window wasn't here before, or at least not on the outside. Yeah.
Kay is gonna do a dumb, but it's Kay. Kay is going to. Can the window be opened?
Yes, it can. There's a latch that you can undo to open up the window, and it pushes
kind?
open
Is it?
or pushes out.
Is it like a sideways, up,
Sideways.
down, left, or double?
It
It's a casement window.
it opens to the left.
Okay, cool. Kay is going to, being Kay, not intelligently, he is going to unlock it, because I'm assuming it's locked.
Yeah, it had a little latch.
I don't know. He's gonna just whack it. Like, open, like, with...
With gusto and with fervor. Smash!
Yes! We're just like, whoosh! Because he's just gonna want to go,
Roll me a strength check.
Up there.
Yeah, you'd all be getting up there as Kay is like full swinging this thing open.
I'm
Not
gonna
just
stay on the bottom floor.
just a strength check, not a strength save.
just...
Yeah, Theo's gonna stay on the bottom floor.
I think I broke a window, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, that strength check?
It was 6. I mean, it was a 16. So
You did a strength save, just a strength check.
Oh,
You-
son of a bitch! I hate all of this. This is terrible. Well,
strength
this
check.
is a
There you
7
go.
now, so at least it's not the second number. But like,
Yeah, you hear the clatter as the window like smacks against the wall. One of the 4 panels of glass on this does break, and just like the glass fragments fall to the ground. You're like, whoops.
no, Kay is not like whoops. He knew what he was trying to do. There is no whoops involved. He attempted to push it with gusto. It just wasn't enough gusto. Very different.
All gust, no
Why
oh.
are you breaking things? What was the point of that, Kay?
Sylvania. Yeah, Kay, why are you breaking things?
Magic.
There's no magic up here. Theo checked. He took all the magic things downstairs.
I don't believe anything Theo says.
Well, since we've discovered the curtain's not magic, I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Yeah, Sylvania's gonna follow with dog.
Like, I'm out of this. No, thank you.
Okay.
But being thorough, actually, does Kay see? Because you said the window looks upon the ruins of a.
Up the once great city. Yeah, the city that you went through to get into there.
Cool. From this window, are there any like notable landmarks? Something that would stand out as like a library, city hall, or like one of those more historic monuments that very much screams landmark. Like something in a video game that you would build an entire part of a level about just to show off this giant expressive thing. Why? Because it's cool as shit.
You mean the
Even
point
though-
of interest?
Yes. Are there any points of interest?
From looking out from the tower, no. You can see like the ruins. Like now that you're a bit higher up, you can see like what would have once been streets, and you kind of make out a bit more of like, yeah, this was like on like the main street. And, like one of the things you can see a little bit though, a lot of the city seems to branch out from, like, originating from this tower. So it seems like this tower was a central point as opposed to something that was built in after.
Kay makes that observation, tells no one. And
He tucks that away for never use.
False world hunger. Tell no one.
And then he's going to casually walk downstairs, and Kay, being Kay, is the only person in this entire place that hasn't touched the fucking circle orb thing in the middle of the floor.
Yep.
Because it's a trapdoor. But now that there are adults present, he's gonna touch it.
You're just gonna walk up and go.
Oh, you better believe I'm gonna walk up and I'm just gonna put my hand on it and I'm just gonna rest it there.
Yeah, I'll just let him do that.
I mean, I don't know what. I don't know what any kind of magic is. Like, I know what the kinds of magic are, but I don't believe they're magic because
You watch
hey,
me do it.
I watched Theo do it. Theo just touched it and was like, and then poof, we were inside, or there was a door. One of the two.
There was a door.
So I'm just gonna touch it, see what happens.
Okay, so you walk up and just, and you can feel the like magic being pulled from pulled out of your hand. You've expended one of your spell slots.
Oh, good, because I use those.
You do actually quite frequently.
You use it. Yeah, I use it all the time.
What are you talking about? I never use all of them.
I just need to make longer fights then. As you place your hand on it, it like draws that spell slot from you. You feel it kind of like shift down an inch, and then it like drops another inch, and then you can feel as it slides forward, kind of shunting you off of itself as it slides into a slot in the floor.
Does it reveal like a tunnel going down?
Yes.
Or a ladder?
There's a set of stairs that is revealed that spirals downwards.
Fucking A. Kay is going to run to his pack, pick it up, because I'm assuming when he woke up, he left things in a relative like mess. He's gonna pack his shit up, light a torch, and he's gonna be like, "I'm going on an adventure."
I think we're all going on an adventure, but okay. I'm gonna reach over. I'm gonna touch the torch without him lighting it. I'm just gonna cast light real quick
Okay.
So there's gonna be a light source also on my torch.
on your torch. Well, you haven't. I don't know if you've lit the torch yet, but I just cast light on it because then.
I
that
mean,
way
I'm
it'll have to-
I'm okay with my torch glowing instead
Yeah,
of being
that-
lit on fire.
Yeah, that way you
that'll-
don't have to expend a torch.
I
Okay.
mean, that'll do.
Hey.
I spent a torch last night anyways.
You say you're going on an adventure as if this whole thing hasn't been a giant adventure.
Yes, I was going to say, don't you remember the dragon turtle yesterday? Like a
Kay,
giant.
Kay lifts up his right hand, as he passes the torch from his right to his left and goes, "What do you mean, adventure?" Like he's like wiggling his fingers, like it's just like his robotic hand fingers. He's just like, "What do you mean, adventure?"
Well,
Like he is.
after you got an
he-
arm.
I don't really know what you're talking about. There's-
We've
there's
been off for
stairs.
like 2 days, probably more. We fought things. We saw places.
So it's like a standard. Do we have days of the week? Are they named differently?
They're
Get in the hole,
they're
okay.
same days of the week.
Cool. Just a normal Tuesday afternoon, and Kay is going to take his first steps down the stairs without trying to even bother or care to make note of if they are trapped. But because Kay, he is going to try and detect portal because he can.
Okay.
And because we're inside the tower now, because I tried detecting on the outside of the tower, and that was a failure, I'm going to try detecting on the inside of the tower.
Okay.
Because I'm half expecting there to be a portal down here that's deactivated until we get there and fight some stupid boss that leads us to Oz's place. And I'm just gonna be so salty as fuck about it. But because he could have just sent us through one way, but he's like, no, sorry, it was closed. It was locked from the other side. Because he's a fucking wizard. That's
Out of
why.
order. That sounds like Kay is like having a flashback of an alternate reality. Is manifesting some things.
What are you talking about? What? Kay's not a person who's lived in multiple planes and multiple dimensions and multiple time periods that somehow don't relate, but he pulls knowledge from them at random?
Definitely not.
No.
So as you cast it, roll me an Arcana check.
Is it this button? Is this the correct button?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Good job.
I mean, that tracks. It's K.
It does track. You do not sense a portal.
Fine. K actually doesn't care if he doesn't. He's still gonna like go barreling down.
Yeah.
He's not focused enough to notice. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just really hoping.
Do you have your slug out, Anna?
I can get it out real easy.
I mean,
Keep a hand. have a
Theo is
firm grip.
expecting Kay to like trip down the stairs at some point, just keep falling down hundreds of thousands of flights of stairs. Maybe like 50 50 flights of like spiral stairs. Like his body literally slows down for a bit to take a break for a breather, and then he gains momentum again and keeps rolling down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm suddenly imagining you, like, Peter Griffining down the stairs, but, like, halfway through you stand up, and then just continue the roll.
I was picturing more Spirited Away.
I was picturing the Final Fantasy Shinra stairs, except backwards.
Except backwards. You have got to be shitting me.
Cat.
So as you head down the flight of stairs, is everyone following along, or is it just Kay racing ahead?
If he's barreling, he can barrel. I'm going to follow at a very leisurely pace.
Okay.
And I will follow. I think that was the plan.
Yep. And Sylvania will follow with us.
Okay. So Kay, you hoof it down those stairs. Roll me a d20. Actually, let's make it a dexterity saving throw, just for simplicity.
Gonna make me learn to use this website.
Uh-huh. Precisely.
I'll take it.
Dexterity. You're pretty good.
So you're booking out. At one point, you like step on like the edge of a stair, and if you go where you like go down like 6 steps with like that single step, it's like, but you recover and just keep going without losing any momentum.
Typically only happens with carpeted stairs, or at least I've found. But what?
Yes, but the stairs might as well be carpeted with how much dust's on them.
Are these are stone stairs?
Yes. Yes, but they're also heavily covered in dust. But you hoof it down. You do manage to get to the bottom. And as you reach the bottom of the stairs... Oh,
What do I see? Is there
You-
gonna be a new map?
Eh.
I'm kind of hoping there's a new map.
Do.
Obviously.
No map for you.
There's a square room. Boo!
So as you get into the room, and the moment you step across the threshold of that room, like you're stepping off those last stairs into the threshold of the room, you end up seeing the walls kind of light up. There's like this bluish hue that just kind of bathes the room as small stones from the wall just start brightening up. And you can see across, like on the far wall, you see a large stone golem. It's where is it? Yeah, the golem itself is close to 9 feet tall, and it's fashioned from very brownish stone.
Is it moving?
It is currently not. Initially, as you step in, it's not moving.
Kay is going to scream up the flight of stairs. Oh!
Dad, he's calling for you.
Like, Kay is going to like
I
stop
hear him.
dead in his tracks at the bottom, but like, I'm under the impression that Kay has never seen a golem before.
That's false because you saw them when you were in Stoneforge.
Fair enough. I don't like this one. It is ominous as sin. It is standing on the other side of the room. Like, look at it. Just look at that little icon. That's just not okay. So Kay is literally gonna. He steps into the room. He opens it up, and instead.
Oh, there is no door. It's just like the end of the stairs just goes into the room.
He steps in. It lights up, and then there's just this golem. Just. I'm like, I need an adult. Because like this whole situation is like, I've seen a golem before, sure, but did Kay know it was a golem? Probably not, unless they were actively moving.
They were. Yeah, back when you were in Stoneforge going into Dognir, there was the large stone golems that were at the entrance point there.
Oh yeah.
And they were actively moving about. They were clearly positioned as guards.
I don't trust the look of this one, but also it is magic. Magic is not. Kay is not smart when it comes to magic.
We know.
He looks and he's like, I don't want to move because he stepped into a room and it glowed, which means he triggered something. He doesn't want to move again for risk of
Triggering something else.
bad.
So as the rest of the group gets down into the room, part of me imagines that Theo makes no additional effort to hurry down.
It was a situation where I heard him scream, and then Annah makes her awesome comment of, "He's calling for you, Dad." I hear him. Make my way down the stairs. You have your slug ready?
Right here.
Excellent. And then we'll go out.
So as the rest of you step into the room, like you see this large stone golem just kind of plunked there, just idly, like it's not moving, not making any kind of motion, it's just there. And just kind of staring a bit downwards.
Is it holding anything?
Its hands are currently facing in towards itself, so you can't tell.
I would like to do a perception check on the rest of the room.
Me as well.
Okay, roll me those perception checks.
I mean, I might as well get in on this shit too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Syl do it too.
Yep.
Nat 1. Okay.
Anna, you were behind Sylvania, and for whatever reason, Sylvania seems tall enough to block your vision.
So Theo rolled a 15. Sylvania rolled a 13.
Okay.
Kay rolled the 14.
The room seems very plain. You can see like these small blue jewels that are embedded in the wall that are giving off this like faint bluish glow. Bluish glow. And aside from that, like the floor is just like smooth tile, and there is a very large golem on the other side of the room.
If we take a look at the golem, it definitely looks like a battle golem.
Roll me a history check, because I don't know how much Theo would know about battle golems.
20.
A lot, apparently.
Apparently a lot.
I
You,
excavated them with my class, yo! I took a class on Gollum.
So during your class of Golemology,
Notes right now, like just in case it comes up again.
I didn't just study the introduction of magic and the cataclysm. I also studied Golemology.
I took Golemology as an option in third
It was a
year.
prerequisite, okay?
Is Miss Bristol your professor? This is some
What are you
weird
guys
shit.
doing? Jeez. Did you have to?
Should be.
His Bristol should have been my teacher.
Was there ever a day where you should have stayed home?
With the frizz? No way.
so as fuck, I missed Magic School Bus. That was a good show.
They have a new series. It's just as great.
I did not know that. I may have to check that out. So as you're looking at the golems, like, it is definitely battle ready. It is definitely battle capable. And from what you remember of Golem, from your time taking Golemology, golems can be scary.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
I don't know if this might be.
I don't like this. Just straight up, I don't like this. I'm.
You don't see a crystal. I don't see a weapon.
I don't see anything, but I don't like it.
I mean, I screamed.
I would like everyone just to be ready in case this thing reacts to any type of magic whatsoever. And I'm going to cast Detect Magic real quick.
Okay, so you cast Detect Magic, and immediately you can note 2 sources of magic in his hands. Very similar to the orbs used to open the doors that you've gone through so far. And on the wall behind him, you can see several runes light up across the wall. The golem does not react to you casting Detect Magic.
So at this point, I'm seeing Theo do Theo's thing, and everyone else do their things. Kay is going to step forward.
Okay, and as Kate takes a couple steps forward, that's where we're going to take our break.
I was gonna say, can I have a reaction and yank him back? But we'll break first.
We're going to take our break. So we will be back in about 10-ish minutes. So yeah. Peace out for now.
Lift off.
Yep, we're back. Already.
And Kay has to roll a dexterity save. What?
Yeah, roll your dexterity.
So
I mean, I
Before
don't
you
know.
move, can I roll a reaction?
you can try. You are certainly welcome to try.
Oh, where would that be?
That would be a dexterity, that'd just be a straight dexterity check, essentially.
Alright, failed, so I definitely don't get that.
You crit failed.
Yeah, you reach out to try and grab Kay, like, oh shit, like, but you're, like you'd kind of been, like, crisscrossing your feet a little bit, and as you try and take the step with the wrong foot, and you just kind of, like, fall face first.
And then I kicked her, sir.
And so, Kay, as you step forward, once you take like a step or two, like you watch the golem kind of like shift and look up to where you are, and you can see, like, now that it's looking up, there's a red gem, small red gem embedded in its forehead, and it's like, Master, is that you? No, you're not Master. Where is Master?
gonna respond with, so the tower's empty.
That means Master's not home. Why are you in Master's home when Master's not home?
Kay is gonna be like he's just the puppy dog that's like the expression on Kay's face, just as so that everyone is aware, is for those of you who own animals, when you first see your dog after they've done something wrong, but you haven't seen what they've done wrong. So like when you walk into the house and you know your duvet has been ripped to shreds and it's covered in, your bedroom is covered in feathers, but you don't know what the dog looks.
The dog is like sulking and looks up.
It's like the dog looks at you and then like looks at the corner, or like is only half looking at you, trying not to make direct eye contact. Kate knows everyone's behind him. His face is just like
Guilty dog look, or like
it's a I've well, I'm not good at talking.
Thanos gonna scramble up really quickly and go, hello?
Hello.
Apologize.
What? You're not the Master. Where is Master?
Master, how do I explain this? Who is your master, first off?
Master is the Master.
Alright then, excellent. What year is it?
This one lacks an answer to your query.
That's fine, that's fine. Your master has moved away, unfortunately, and has left the situation, for us to take over. We're very sorry.
Strange. Master would not leave their things.
Well, unfortunately, Master's things are kind of destroyed. The roof
Did you
caved
destroy
in.
Master's things?
No, I did not destroy Master's things. The roof caved in. We've come to assess the situation. But unfortunately, Master had to leave really quickly because, well, Master's roof caved in.
That is unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate indeed. It is very unfortunate. Do you have name, Master Golem? Mr. Golem?
This one is the Golem.
Excellent, you are the Golem. It's nice to meet you, the Golem. The Golem, we are assessing the building for damages, and there's quite a bit of damage upstairs.
Someone broke the bed.
Yes, the bed is quite broken. There's a hole in the roof. Books everywhere. But we're not quite finished, the Golem. We kind of need to
The Golem.
progress.
The Golem.
He gave me his name. He said his name was the Golem.
It's legit. It's what I've written down.
Changing my thing to this, his name is now the Golem.
It's like his name is The Rock. Can you
No,
read
it's
that?
like no.
But
His
The Rock
name
is
it's like
cooking.
or the Iron Bull. There is only one.
There's only one. Yeah, it's the Golem. His name is the Golem.
Can you become a party member?
The Golem.
No.
We would like to. We need to progress further to continue to assess the damages to the building, so that we can, notify the master. Would we be able to proceed?
Only the Master may bring people in.
Shit. The master is very, very far away, and we can't leave until we complete our objective. And it's going to take days
Then you'll
for
have
the
to wait
master
for the
come back.
Master.
Shit. There's no way you can make a tiny little...
Only the Master can bring people in.
So how can we become the master?
This one lacks an answer to your query.
I don't understand magic. So I'm like,
All you need to, I just turn around and I'm going to be like, everyone upstairs, we need to have a, everyone upstairs, we need to have a little talk.
are we all
Everyone?
gonna casually go
Yes,
upstairs?
we're just gonna leave the scary golem for a moment, and we're going to go upstairs and have a conversation. Let's go, come on.
Where he can't hear us.
As you turn and walk away, the golem just stays standing there. He makes no attempt to follow. He just stays standing in the room.
Stay fucking right there. Let's just, everybody upstairs. I literally just like shove everyone up the stairs.
Okay.
And before, like, everyone's up the stairs, once we get up there, I'm going to go, the golem. Okay, I don't think you can hear us. But still, maybe just speak in a whisper, just in case.
The master's dead, isn't he?
Master has not been around for a very... Can I do a history check on how old the books might possibly be?
Sure.
We know that the civilization is at least a couple hundred years old.
Yeah, we know that the civilization is at least a couple hundred years old. Yes.
From your discussions with the turtle, back when you were chatting with Yexalok, he had commented on the fact that this place had been wiped out nearly 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, so definitely, yes, the master is definitely dead, and the golem downstairs, doesn't know that. Obviously, he's probably been sleeping for 1,000 years now.
So why don't we tell him?
Do you want to tell him that his master is gone? Well, we said that the master has left, and he said, nope. Oh, the master wouldn't leave their things, and we said, well, everything's been destroyed. Do you want to do that, Kay?
Is there any way we can
No,
sneak a name?
no, before you do anything, we need to keep talking for 5 more minutes.
The timer has been set.
Block the stairway. No.
I know that
So-
Golem said he was all about his master being here. Maybe he can read and we can provide like a note that says, "Dear the Golem, let these people through because I'm not there to do it." We can like deduce a name. And it can
For
read.
reference, Theo actively needs to stop Kay from going down the stairs now because
Yeah,
I rolled a
it's true.
d20
Oh, I see.
and I
the
rolled
hell
a
have I rolled?
17. So I'm confident. I've made the decision that I'm going to tell the golem the truth.
Oh, okay, what am I rolling?
I
What
haven't-
am
I
I
ha-
rolling, Dan?
I haven't made the decision to go down the stairs yet. I need to roll that again, but I want to be honest with the golem.
Okay, so Kay wants to be honest with the golem. Okay.
That is currently my stance on the matter.
Okay.
Okay, well, there's an idea. There's also the deception idea, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if that would work, considering that he's unable to answer specific queries. Tells me he's not. He's probably got a one-tracked mind. If you
Right.
get what I'm saying.
So then it sounds like the only way out is through.
Yeah, we want to continue because we need specific items.
Assuming this is the place to find them.
Yeah, assuming, yes, this is the place to find him, which we have kind of deduced. I think this is the only place in this crazy place. No, Kay, please don't go yet. Please, I just grabbed
Hey.
the back of your shirt. Please.
That's fine. Kay leaned forward and
Yeah.
you just grabbed the back of his
Yeah.
shirt, and he's like,
Just. Now, the other thing is, of course, is that I just told him that the master went. So if you just want to tell him that the master's not coming back, how do you think he's going to respond? He's probably still not going to let us in.
which is why I feel it would be dumb for some all-powerful magic-y guy to make a magic thing that doesn't have a contingency plan.
You mean the contingency plan of something being incredibly dangerous and it being locked away so that no wrong or evildoers can get their hands on it?
So we just We're not. Are we evildoers?
We're not evildoers, but that golem.
Which is why we shouldn't lie to the golem. We should be honest and forthright about it.
Great. Honest to our deaths.
Kay is very, very much like this entire city has been destroyed for what's the word?
Millennia?
Thank you! A millennia. The word pops into his head from an ominous voice that wasn't his own head. Even though he knew what it was, he was hoping another character would say it, but fine. Like, what do you expect? Like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna be like, oh, okay. So he's either gonna fail safe, attack us, or do nothing. Two of those
Theo, roll me a
options-
history check with advantage, because you nat 20'd your golemology earlier.
You modified 20, bitch.
Wow. This Grizzle.
I
You-
aced my golemology course apparently.
Yeah, of all the classes that you studied, golemology was surprisingly interesting.
It was interesting. I aced that course.
It was also one of the few courses that you actively had to run away from one of your classes because one of the golems went rogue.
Yes, and I vividly remember that, and it made a mess of the cafeteria.
It did.
We couldn't order pizza for weeks. Butter chicken.
Yeah, it wrecked that stove.
You know, it's like when you can't get butter chicken, and you're on your third consecutive week of studying for exams. It's horrible.
So as you're trying to recall, it's like, especially when it came to, like, ancient golems,
Yeah.
they are dumb.
Dumb as sticks.
They are as dense as the rock they're made from.
Dumb as rocks. So,
But they also tend to have very specific programming.
yeah.
Don't make me QA this bullshit. I don't want. Kay's not gonna QA this bullshit. He's not gonna test different commands to bullshit his way
Jamie
through
actually would
stupid-
like David to QA this bullshit, but Theo doesn't know what QA is, so.
I mean, neither does Kay, which is why I don't want to do it.
So I'm going to relay this information. Going, golems, as far as I remember, golems are dumb. Dumb creatures. We just have to get his brain in a loop. And then maybe we can move past him. I'm not going to lie, I don't want to fight this thing. I don't want to fight this thing because golems are usually very magic resistant. They hurt a lot, and I don't think any of us here are equipped to fight one.
So we just need to trigger its brain into thinking we can go through?
Yes, we just need to. I'm not sure if we should tell it the truth, Kay. I know he's got that face on. I don't know. Kay, why don't you go make friends with the golem
Tell him a story.
and tell him a story, and tell him a long, long story, and then maybe, I don't know, to ask him to help the master lift the bookcase upstairs. That's just an idea. Does anybody else have any?
Kay
other
is
crazy
way
ideas?
too on board with this. So, Kay is on board with going downstairs to ask the golem 20 questions.
Okay. Let the 20 questions begin.
Maybe if we ask
No.
it enough questions, it will shorten the circuit. It's not like Johnny 5, where it's like, input,
Input! Input!
Johnny 5 is alive!
Reassemble.
Yeah, reassemble, yeah, that's a good show.
Hi,
It was a great movie. I enjoyed it.
Great
hi,
movie.
Mr. the Golem. How are you?
This one is here.
Okay, what do you do?
This one guards the chamber.
What's in the chamber?
Only Master knows what's in the chamber.
It was
What
gonna
does
be like,
Master
oh,
know?
Master knows what's in the chamber. Master knows a lot of things.
Have you been upstairs recently?
No. This one can't go upstairs.
Why not?
This one doesn't fit.
And then kind of like looking at the golem and looking back at the stair was like, yeah, he wouldn't fit.
You should have made a bigger icon.
Yeah. The stairway narrows through. Also, it's mostly he's tall.
Yeah, I get it.
Fair enough. Would the golem like to play a game?
This one does not know how to play.
Can I teach you?
This one does not have an answer to that query.
Teach him anything.
So, Kay is going to proceed to explain to the golem how to play rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Okay.
Gonna pull out a snack for this.
Do you actually want me to explain how to play rock, paper, scissors, or can I just go with that assumption?
We'll go with the assumption that Kay knows how to play rock, paper, scissors, and that you tried to explain it as best as you can to the golem.
Perfect.
Or
Okay.
boulder parchment shears.
I mean, boulder parchment shears works too. It's the same general premise. Anyways,
Rochambeau.
so, golem, do you understand how to play rock, paper, scissors?
I mean, he just kind of looks down at himself like, rock.
Paper.
Rock.
It's gonna be so easy to beat.
So, golem, there's another rule I forgot to tell you about. When you play rock, paper, scissors, you make a deal with someone. So, you can make a request of me, or I can make a request of you. And whoever wins rock, paper, scissors, the loser needs to adhere to that request.
He's just staring at you.
I'm gonna try and convince the golem to play rock, paper, scissors. So, golem, do you have a request?
This one would like to see the master.
Well,
Swear to God, if he busts out shears.
so the master is going to be upstairs soon. But we have to make you fittable. So, if you win rock, paper, scissors, we'll make it so that you can go upstairs. But I win rock, paper, scissors, you let me see what's in that room behind you.
Only the master can bring people in.
But that's bringing people in.
I lean down to Anna. Do you think if one of us puts... I found clothes upstairs. Do you think one of us puts on clothes? We can maybe pretend
That's
to be
a
the
great
master.
idea.
Except I don't know what the master looks like. Only that might be elvish.
You're the closest fit.
I'm like, sure, that's fair. Only the master can bring people in.
Dress and drag.
So the master can... The master can go into the room with other people. That doesn't mean you can't let people into the room.
Only master can bring people in.
I'm gonna do something drastic. I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna find some clothes.
You're gonna go and try and put on the clothes?
Like anything with a hood.
I'm gonna follow Theo, like try to get those brass rings on him. Like, everything.
like, is it okay as I'm going to the clothes? they're all old and ratty, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's dumb as a stick. It's like, they're definitely all ladies' clothes, correct?
Yeah.
Do they fit me?
Roll me a dexterity check to try and get into a set of clothes without destroying it.
Oh my god. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you find like a nice shirt and pants that it's like, and it's like you're like this bite, and then like you like try and pull the shirt over, and you immediately just kind of like rip, and it's like that's that one's not gonna work.
Do I find like a large cloak with a hood?
Roll me an investigation check, and you can both roll me investigation checks as you're like mucking with this dresser.
Yeah. 10.
Anna, as you are as you're watching Theo trying to put on various clothes, they're pulling out. You kind of like note up on the wall that there was a nail in the wall, and you kind of like look behind the dresser, and you can pull out this large painting.
Oh shit.
You know,
snap.
prestidigitation.
Okay.
None of us have
painting.
prestidigitation.
It's very dusty.
It's very dusty. It's faded a bit with age.
Wait a minute.
What?
Sylvania has mending. It might not be enough, but Sylvania has mending.
So as by looking at this painting, the painting itself is faded a bit with age, but the image can still be made out for the most part. It is of a slender elven woman sitting very regal, back straight, chin up, a definite air of like that superiority about her. Her short brown hair is tied up in a ponytail. She's wearing a long red dress, and resting in her lap beneath her hands appears to be a jeweled dagger of some sort.
A jeweled dagger. Shit.
You guys have a dagger?
Not a jeweled dagger. I have the letter
magic.
opener.
I
No,
thought-
I found a stone dagger. A dagger
Uh,
made of stone, nothing jeweled.
Yeah, it's definitely the stone one that you found is definitely not the same as what
Yeah.
she's holding.
Can Sylvania make a dagger real quick? I
Can
don't think
you
she can.
embed the stone dagger with jewels?
First off, I don't have brown hair, and my hair is definitely not short.
But we could just say that you aged a bit and your hair turned white with age.
I suppose I could do that, but I also don't look like a woman.
And Anna kind of
Hey.
puts her hand up and teeter-totters a bit.
You,
Theo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how femmy is your elf?
5. Theo is the definition of androgyny.
You know, just because I'm an elf, and I'm mid-waist and have long hair, and I have anime white hair, doesn't mean you're so attacked right now.
And you wear long flowy clothing, and there's no there is no defined angles in what you wear. You don't wear fitted clothing.
Let's find this red dress.
Okay, so you go digging through, and you do eventually find what was once the red dress. It is not in the greatest of condition, having been sitting there for centuries. Literally centuries.
Fine.
Ken, hang on. I'm looking at mending right now. Yeah.
Spells.
Spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch. Broken chainlet, 2 halves of a broken key, a torn cloak. A leaking. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension.
So yeah, you have to put it on and don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I have to put on and not fuck it
It's
up.
RuPaul.
Yeah,
So So, are you gonna try and put on the red dress?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah, can Anna help me put on this goddamn dress?
I'd like to be like a handmaiden and
Yep. So the shorthand maiden is going to be assisting you in putting on the dress, so you can roll with advantage.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Oh, let me just find my. Okay, what am I rolling?
So it's another dexterity check.
15.
15.
Yeah.
You do tear it a little bit as you're sliding into it, but you think that the tear seems to be small enough that Sylvania could probably mend that tear.
Okay, perfect.
So Sylvania goes up and just like casts mending, just like quickly stitching that back up, and
Yeah. How do I make myself look more like a woman, you guys?
flip your hair back and forth.
I take off my hair tie, and I'm like, what, how do you, I shake it out, like I just take my hair and shake it out. I go, is this enough?
And then Anna's gonna demonstrate with her lack of hair.
yeah, because Anna's bald.
It's not very effective.
Do you do like the Little Mermaid thing where it's like, blah, like I'm reaching the ocean?
Just get the fuck.
Someone who doesn't have hair, I think that's how you look feminine. So I'm encouraging this.
Well, I mean, at this point, Kay has tried to convince the golem to play rock paper scissors. Kay is going to try to play a game with him and see if he responds.
Kate, what are you trying to play with the golem?
I'm just gonna try and play rock paper scissors. He wins, I take him upstairs. I win, I get to go into the room. And then it's
Are you saying that again to him?
Yes.
Don't say that to him.
As you say that, it's just like only
It's
Master
only
can
the
bring
master
people
can
inside.
bring people into a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fine. Kay is still gonna play rock, paper, scissors.
And he looks down, looks back up, rock. He got a 6 for understanding how, like, rock, paper, scissors, so...
So it's perfect! So the thing is paper. So, I win. Which means you should let me look inside.
Only the Master can bring people in.
I don't need to go in. I can stay here. I won't enter the room. I'll just look.
Only the Master can bring people in.
Okay. Do I look feminine enough?
Kay is going to saunter upstairs to find the rest of the crew doing. Ah!
I don't want to hear a single word out of that mouth, Kay.
You're forgetting the ponytail.
I took off my ponytail. My hair is everywhere.
Also, Kate, you haven't seen the painting.
I thought they pulled it out, so it's like on.
It's up on the second floor.
Yeah. My goal was to come back up here because no one, or well, okay, fine. Fuck it. Kay is.
Yeah, the painting would be up in
like,
here.
Okay, fine. What are you wearing?
We
Well,
found a paint. You found a painting. Do I look like I could be the master of this place?
Kay is gonna wander up to the second floor and look at the painting. After making an observation of the painting, which was like brown hair, ponytail,
Regal.
dress, dagger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk down and go, so she had a ponytail, a dagger, and
Is that what she had? Was she had a ponytail?
Yeah. She had brown hair and a ponytail. Short brown hair tied up in a ponytail.
Okay, I pull my hair up into like a high ponytail. Pull it up into a high pony.
and I'm gonna be like,
Or I try to copy the style she has in the picture, at least.
Kay is going to go over to the table, take the stone dagger, and like carefully place it on Theo.
I don't know if this is gonna work, to be honest. Does anyone have a jeweled dagger, or at least a dagger that maybe we can make it look like it has jewels on it?
Which is why I've brought over the stone dagger, because it's probably the closest fucking thing. And also, it is still an object that the master did carry, so even though we might not need to make it jeweled per se,
Does
it
anyone
should
have a
work.
dagger?
Pretty sure I still have a dagger.
Yeah. Did we find it? No. Do you think there'd be any place in here that would there'd be a jeweled dagger?
Under the bed? We didn't look under the bed.
We didn't look under the bed.
They
Drop
were
the bed, though.
under the pile of soot. Soot.
Soot.
Soot. Ah.
Soot.
Good.
Should we do let's do one last investigation to see if we can find a goddamn dagger.
Yes, and while investigating, I wanted to check if behind the painting, really carefully, maybe someone had addressed a self-portrait to her, and we could deduce a name.
Okay.
Yes. Good idea. I'm also gonna look in the rune book and see if she wrote any of her names in any of the books.
I think that's a great idea to check in books too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you're doing an investigate. Basically, you're going up to each floor again and doing another investigation. Is that basically what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go, give me an investigation check for the first floor.
Do you want it from
12
everyone?
Yeah, and anyone who's participating in hunting about.
We're all doing it. Sylvania's gonna do it too.
Oh wait, okay, I have to click on investigation?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yay!
Woo, Sylvania!
Yay, Sylvania! Theo right now is he's trying very hard not to rip this dress that he's in.
I did okay.
So scavenging about on the first floor, you're unable, even with Sylvania's high roll, to find anything that has a name on it, including your rune book and the smut book.
Are we not looking for... Was that not the role to look for a bejeweled dagger?
Well, that as well. Like the dagger, the name, there wasn't anything that they found on the first floor.
Oh, to the second floor.
Okay, give me an investigation check for the second floor.
Hold on, I'm failing to use this tool.
How did Sylvania and I rolled the same thing?
That you did. So Anna, while you're investigating, because you're like, we didn't look under the bed, and so you go back to where the bed is and lift up, and you find a small key.
We'll take the small.
It's
Yeah,
the
and-
fucking key to the chest, isn't it? The piece of shit DM just starts nodding his head.
Hey, it's been placed there from the get-go.
Fair. We're gonna.
I even have in my notes that there is a key that had fallen off of the end tables and is currently just under the bed that unlocks the chest.
We're gonna check under every bed now. Thanks, Aaron.
I know, we're gonna check in every bed for the next session, and then we're gonna promptly forget.
Then you're gonna forget about it.
About bed.
Much like rugs.
Write it.
Three sessions from now, I can just put everything is just a rug of smothering, and you guys have all forgotten.
No, because I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna underline it.
I'll just put a sticky note on the front cover of my book, and not on a page. Yeah,
Check
but the
under every
problem
bed.
See, the trick is you have to notice that note every time.
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you only going to be on that page
Yeah.
for the rest of this campaign?
Yep.
Yeah. I am. Gonna
For the
rewrite
rest
that note every
Oh,
time.
that.
Anyway, what do we find anything on the second besides the key?
Uh,
Do we find anything on the second floor?
Taking another look at the painting, Mel, you also,
Something on the back
Anna,
side of the painting?
Anna does find a small note scrawled on the back side of the painting, that states, "A gift to Our Majesty Elfira."
Okay, we all have to be like peons to Theo and be like really bowy and because she's our majesty. now.
Elphira?
Elphira.
Elphira. Elphira.
Yes, Elphira.
Elphira.
And I wanted to take the key I found and like somehow give it to Theo to have on his person as like further proof that he is this Elphira.
I have a key to a chest. Hey! I have 11 openers, some tarnished rings. Great.
Okay. And throughout scavenging the rest of the second floor, you do not find a jeweled dagger.
Head to the
All
first
right.
floor.
Finally, the third floor because
Yep.
Third floor.
Sass. What does
Where
K
we're at.
find? I feel K. Oh, K. We all. We really searched this floor.
Yeah, you guys like stacking the books off to the side, like pick up each book and like move it off to the side into like
I'm scanning
relatively
each one.
organized pile. Yeah, you're looking for more smut.
I gotta know what kind of smut she's into.
Actually, I want to take a look at people's languages.
I'm still in a dress.
You are.
Change your like art.
I'll make a note. I will make a note. Trust me.
we need fan art of Theo in a dress.
We need
Theo
fan.
in a little red dress.
In a little red dress.
Specifically, the DM did not state anything but a red dress. I added the little because I think it'd be hilarious to see Theo in the little red dress.
Aaron, you're gonna have to send me pictures of the red dress. Don't you dare make it a slutty red dress.
I never said it was a slutty red dress. I said it was a little red dress.
Okay, so I need to find pictures of a slutty little red dress for Theo. I'm kidding. Because once again, the painting is very like elegant and regal. It's not whorish. So no, they're not wearing a like just past the thighs kind of
That's the
red dress. So
not showing off the thigh.
okay. Can I get you guys to make me a history check?
Damn, only 10.
That tracks.
Yeah, that does track. Theo, now that you've had a proper meditation's rest, you pick up one of the books that you had been looking at before, and you're like, oh, fuck me, this wasn't Elvish, this was fucking Abyssal.
Oh shit!
And you can't read it because you didn't take Abyssal, but you recognize that it is Abyssal.
Oh, which is it's the opposite of celestial. Shit.
Correct.
Oh no.
Oh, I love DM. Let me take a look at the languages that everyone speaks and pick the one I'm pretty sure no one does.
No, once again, I already had it written down that it were in Abyssal, but I was just checking. I was like, wait, does anyone speak Abyssal? It's like, no one does. That's why I made you roll the history check as opposed to just, you can read this.
I can't read it, but
But you know what it is. Yeah, you recognize it as Abyssal. And there are several books that are written in Abyssal.
Yeah. That means demon summoning. Oh no. No.
Throughout the scavenging of the rest of the room, though, like you've nicely and neatly stacked all these books, but you cannot find a jeweled dagger.
Well,
The stone one will have to do. Roleplay that shit, Theo. I believe in you. I can't go back down there now because, yeah.
did you lose at rock, paper, scissors?
No, I won twice.
Alright.
I'll be right behind you, Your Majesty.
Thanks, Anna. Do I at least make a pretty woman?
What?
Pretty woman.
I don't know how to answer.
That's exactly what was going through my mind.
Sweet, pretty woman.
Which one do you want to hear?
I just want to make sure that I'm convincing.
Yes,
So
yes,
this
you are
golem
convincing.
doesn't fucking kill us. Okay.
Androgyny. It's amazing.
I'm gonna. My hair is up. Should I make myself look older? I look actually quite young.
It's fine.
You think
How's
it
the
will-
golem gonna tell?
Okay. Well.
Just act old. It'll be fine. I mean,
Okay.
act normal.
Alrighty,
Snap
so
came and I told her.
so are you heading down?
Yeah, we're gonna head down. Let's fucking do this shit. That's the worst that's gonna happen. The golem.
Gonna-
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
What's he gonna do? Hit on me?
With great force.
The problem is now that like every character but Kay can go in like downstairs first to play this bullshit.
Fine. It's okay. It's fine. We'll just let her win.
Theo is either gonna walk in like she owns the place, or gonna walk out like it's on fire.
Or both.
I take on the stairs. I take a few minutes. I think of every noble woman I have ever come across, and all of those uppity women in school. And I think long and hard, and I pull myself up, and I go, okay, and then I stride into the room like I fucking own the place.
Alrighty. So as you strut into the room, I would like you to roll me a performance check.
I fucking knew that was coming. 9.
9. Okay. And I want you to roll me a deception check.
14.
Okay. As you walk into the room, like, up and prim and proper. Somebody told me the book is going to be a fan fiction. Like, someone who isn't the DM is going to need to write. What, Dreamer Roxas? You don't think I can write smut?
First tribute. I will write this.
Not really, no. Rude ass child. So as the as you walk in, what is it you're saying to the golem? As soon as you pass that threshold, like once again the lights flicker back on and
In Elvish, I'm going to say, Gollum, stand aside.
the golem kind of looks up at you. He's like, "Hello, the master." He does not step aside, though.
Gollum, I wish to enter the chamber behind you.
And the golem kind of takes a step back towards the wall and holds out his hands. So his hands are currently like this.
It's a fucking puzzle. Damn it.
I take my hand, because he's got an orb in it.
An
right?
orb in each hand.
I put both hands on each orb.
How many spell slots do you have?
I have 2!
Did you not use one to open the... Oh, no, because Kay used one to open up the trapdoor.
Yeah, I
I
used...
did not use it. I have 2.
You go and you place your hands on the orbs, and immediately you feel that surge as the magic is drawn from your hands. And you watch those 2 orbs light up. And he turns around, and he places his hands against the wall, and as he does, you watch all those runes along the wall light up as he slides the wall aside.
All right. I turn and I go, quickly now, follow me. And it says as tighty-toey regally as I can, and I
Kay is
fucking walking like I own the place.
At this point, Kay is gonna finish curving around the stairs and walk into the room along with everyone else, just casually hoity-toity follow the crowd into the room, because I have a feeling we're all gonna need to be present for whatever's gonna happen next. Mainly so Kay can put his metal arm into some very suspicious-looking pot.
Once you've all entered that room, you'll hear as this wall slides back into place. And you can see runes on your side of the wall that originally lit up fade.
Good! We're trapped in here forever. Is there light in this room?
Speaking of room, you're in here.
I put my hand on Anna, and I go, I failed. I didn't do well in drama class. Woo!
You're really lucky. The golem is really, really dumb. The golem is really, really dumb.
Really dumb.
Yeah, when you rolled the 9 for performance, I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. But he rolled worse because he has disadvantage on perception checks.
Isn't that great, Harley Quinn? We beat the golem.
Beat.
Yeah, we tricked the golem.
Already.
Want to be held right now.
She's like, why? Mom!
Don't hold me.
So, as you were all within the room, you step through the door, and like as I said, like it closes behind, the walls slid back into place behind you, and the runes fade out. Blue gems littered across the ceiling light up. As with the previous room, basking the area in a pale blue glow. There's numerous tables scattered throughout the chamber. Many have vials, bottles, beakers, bowls, jars, and a plethora of other things. Everything is caked with a layer of dust. Along the north wall, there are several glass tubes embedded in the wall. Most of which are empty, though there are a couple that appear to have some sort of... like, there's something in them, something floating inside them, in a green gelatinous fluid. On one of the tables, there's a large skeleton with a draconic-looking head. Various rusty knives, scalpels, and tongs sitting on the table beside it. At the head of that table, there's a large stone box. There are a few chests scattered throughout the room. There's a large forge-like structure in the southwest corner of the room. Remnants of charcoal still present within it. On the far side of the room, there's a pair of pillars and a stone archway between them. On either side of the arch, there's large cupboards with heavy wooden doors.
I want to take this moment to remind everyone that there were books written in abyssal upstairs, which means demon.
Kay is going to immediately walk here if he can.
Yep. You should all have control of your characters.
Yeah. He wants to desperately try to look inside one of the awkwardly glowing vats to see if he can discern what's inside.
Okay. The tubes...
Point blank range.
Yeah, the tubes are quite dirty, having been untended to for years, but you can...
dirty on the outside? Or
yes. Yeah, they're dirty on the outside. Like, you can wipe away some of the grit and grime that's built up on the glass. And as you do, staring back at you on the inside of this, the tube that you're in front of, is an illithid. Unmoving. And on the glass near the base, there is a little placard. And the label on it says Squid Man, and then there's a question mark.
I'm sorry, one said Squid Man.
It said, yeah, the one that Kay is in front of right now said Squid Man.
I just googled illithid.
Uh-huh.
So
Mind Flayer.
Yeah, the look on Kay's face right now is.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I just put my headphones down and I thought I caught everything. The green thing says illithid, or it's holding an illithid.
There's an illithid inside it.
There's an illithid inside
The placard itself says Squid Man with a question mark.
Squid. Okay, this is where Jamie needs to roll because Jamie knows what the fucking illithid is.
But what does Theo know what an illithid is?
Yeah. What would you
And
like me to roll for an illithid?
And Kay's gonna roll this too, just for Kay.
For Jamie, you'd be history. For Kay, you would probably actually be nature.
Okay, so I rolled a 10.
I'm working on finding the clickable. That one. I don't
Jamie
know what I
hates-
rolled.
You
Jamie
rolled a
hates
12.
illithids.
Neither of you are quite sure what the heck this is. Jamie, you have a feeling that it's probably something from the Underdark, but you have very little information on what comes from the Underdark.
Only that I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's dead. It's a very dead illithid.
it is dead.
I don't.
Or at least it's unmoving.
I'm gonna
Alright,
move
cool.
to the next green thing.
Okay.
Kay's gonna move directly alongside Theo.
Okay.
He's disgusted and thoroughly interested.
Disgusted and thoroughly amused. So my roommate is using this seg and he's like, oh shit. Silly Ian. The second one, as you like wipe away some of the grit and grime, you see a werewolf that is halfway through its transformation. And the label on it is lycanthropic transformation.
I rolled the 14 because I'm assuming I'm still rolling nature.
Yeah. Kay, in your time within the Fae, you had never seen a werewolf, but you'd heard about them. Basically, they were people who were cursed that would change between a man and a beast under certain circumstances. Though, in your time with the Fae, the circumstances were varied, anywhere between full moons to every Thursday to only when drunk.
Yeah, so it's I know of werewolves. Have I ever encountered? I've never witnessed a transformation. Have I encountered a transformed one or no?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to Theo, who I don't believe has rolled yet, and go. Werewolf? Question mark?
And you're like, yeah, definitely a werewolf.
Definitely a werewolf. Definitely.
Although, Theo, this is the first time you've seen one that is essentially stuck in stasis in mid-transformation.
What's over there, Anna?
Yeah, what is over here, Anna?
So Anna, on either side there is a large obsidian pillar, and then there's like a stone archway that is built between the two of them. On the pillars themselves, there's 4 slots, 2 in each pillar. Each slot, it's square, about 3 inches, or not at 3, about an inch like tall and wide, and then about like 3 to 4 inches deep. And on the floor, you can see like runes have been carved into the floor, into the stone itself. And on the other side of this archway is a blank wall.
Maybe a portal? Could I do any sort of check to deduce what it actually is?
Oh,
Wait.
I can't do anything now because
Wait.
I've used my daily check for portals.
You did.
Wait. I look at the ground. Is there abyssal on the ground?
Roll me an
Any
investigation
form of
check.
fighting on Can we all roll an investigation check? I don't think we need to all roll.
I don't think so.
I don't. I'm too fascinated by this werewolf.
Theo, you're looking at it, you're not spotting anything like from like you're like looking over. You're not noticing anything abyssal, but you are recognizing a lot of it is very runic, similar to the book that you had found before.
I don't know if we should touch this just yet. Just because I'm not sure about that thing, and I point to the illithid. But I don't think it's from around here. And that werewolf is definitely not from around here, so...
Kay is going to... over here.
Okay.
Do what he assumes is a what's the word for a table in a morgue?
A table.
The slab? The slab.
I think I like the slab. He's gonna walk over.
It is a big slab of stone, so sure, we'll go with the slab.
So, but I know there's a chest up top. As
Well, keep in mind that the slab is also like waist high, so it's not when you like up top. It's not like you're having to reach up. It's just like waist high.
Oh no, I'm aware of that.
The only person you have to reach up is Sylvania.
Poor
Yeah,
Syl.
that's-
Syl stands on dogs.
Yup. Yeah, I imagine Sylvania is just like riding dog around at the moment,
Yeah.
as she usually does.
No, but so I'm going to be there with Syl. We're gonna open the tiny little chest on the front. I am fully prepared to be grossed out when we open this because there is a what would have been a corpse at some point.
So as you're looking at the stone block, like there's some metal casings that are built around it. Mostly it's just seeming decorative, but they do bind all the way around this box. On the front of the box, the side closest to you, there is a wide but slender, almost key-like slot, and a circular groove surrounding it that indicates it may be able to turn. This slot's up to about 2 inches wide, but there does not appear to be anything to open.
Cool. Kay is going to now, with an idea of what a key for this hole might look like, is going to scour this room for a key.
Okay.
I have no idea what you want me to roll.
Roll me an investigation check. Well, actually, like, where are you even looking? Like, what are you looking to find?
I'm looking to find a key or a slender device of some kind that would appropriately fit into the slot on the chest of which I saw.
Okay. Yeah, roll me in. Is that your investigation check? The 3?
No.
Oh no, that was your investigation about the rooms. That's right.
Yeah. I'm like, what? No, I didn't click. I haven't even moused over it yet.
Okay, you can roll.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check. Okay, so you go scavenging about, and you find a few different things that look like they might fit into the slot. You find like a knife on one of the tables that you like slide in, but it won't turn. And you find like a little poker over by the forge type thing that you're like, maybe this we're gonna slide in. Not it's too thick. But yeah, you go hunting for a while, and you weren't, from what you're coming across, you're not finding anything to shove in the slot.
Well, Kay's not going to give up, but he's going to be
Gonna-
singly focused on this for a little bit.
Okay.
While everyone else does their thing.
What is Theo and Annah and Sylvania doing?
I was actually gonna wait for you, actually.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Canadian
make my way into
standoff.
the room. So it's gonna be like,
Sorry.
Here. just to find a dagger or a crystal so we can get out. So I've now moved on to this.
To
section.
clarify, Kay has announced to the room what he is looking for.
Okay.
In the just case that he's like, if anyone finds a key or a key-like thing or a thing that might look like a key, I have a keyhole.
Okay, Theo has a key.
Do I have a key? Oh,
Yeah,
I
the key
just
from the
broke it.
chest.
Oh, yes.
A key from the chest that was under the bed.
Yep.
That's if anyone had a key.
I did.
Oh.
You did not specify.
I did not specify, so that could work, but regardless, moving on.
These are cupboards.
Yeah.
Very quickly before I do anything, detect magic. I will roll. Give me my 5 seconds to roll. I don't magic surge.
So you cast Detect Magic, and are you just like making like a lap around the room?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a lap around the room.
Okay. As you make a lap around the room, the two glowing tubes that have like the green fluid inside, those definitely give off a magical aura.
I hate it.
And those would be... shoot, what school of magic would that be?
Necromancy. Kitty cat,
I think
walking
it's...
back and forth.
It is a transmutation spell.
Oh, that makes sense with the books upstairs. Wait a minute, transmutation?
Yes.
So someone forcefully tried to change them into a thing?
I don't know much. I can't. Unfortunately, my character doesn't know.
And then as you are near there as well, the box that Kay and Sylvania are currently looking at is also magical.
Okay.
The corpse on the table is not.
Yeah, I figured.
Is dead.
It is
dead.
very dead.
Dead.
You pass around, and one of the chests, this one down here, also gives off a magical aura.
Okay.
And
This one?
yeah. And those are the only magical auras you're making note of at the moment.
I'm detecting something magical in this chest right here. Is it locked?
So looking at the two chests that are there, it's a little bit odd because there's like both chests are clearly ancient, though the one on the left, so this one here,
Looks considerably less.
it's considerably older, or looks considerably older, and it's not in the greatest of shape. But the other one, the one that you got the magical ping from, is actually in very good condition. Very abnormally so.
Oh, no, camera, do not do this. I don't want to turn a light on. No!
Okay, it's time to turn the light on.
Hey. Okay. Do you want to stab this chest?
Kay is good. The magical chest or the non-magical chest?
The
Yes.
magical chest.
Kay is gonna stab both with his short sword.
Okay. How aggressively are you stabbing them? So not overly aggressively.
But no, it's more of like with like a quarter or a third of strength, like enough to get like the tip stuck in some wood, so that if it was a creature you'd notice. Or
Okay.
If
That's
there
what
was
she
a magical barrier spell on it, it would be like, Not. Ah!
Fair. All right. Do you have trouble getting your tip stuck in wood, Jamie?
Don't have a tip.
So
Really?
you stab both. You stab both of them, and
So much.
neither of them react.
Well, now that Kay has been brought over, because Kay has been brought over to the chest, Kay's going to be like, well, open. Or Kay is going to attempt to open the one on the left. I don't know which one that is.
That's the non-magical one.
It's a non-magical
Cool.
one.
I'm picking. Then I'm going to open the non-magical one and see what's inside.
Okay, so you flip open the lid. And it's easy enough. It's not locked.
I mean, there was a golem protecting this room. Like, anything locked in this room is either incredibly valuable or is surely going to kill us.
So you find a variety of tools. Like these are like heavily rusted with years of neglect. Hammers, knives, carving tools, scalpels, etc. They're nice and neatly organized, but they are not in good condition by any stretch of the imagination.
What kind of tools are they?
I just said hammers, knives, carving tools, scalpels.
Hammers, knives, and carving tools and scalpels.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So, shit you'd find in a morgue.
Yep.
Kay, because at this point he knows he was brought over here to be the guinea pig, is going to attempt to open the chest on the right.
So you go and you open the chest on the right, and as soon as you open that lid, you're just washed over with this aromatic scent as it just floods from the chest as you open it.
Is it a pleasant?
It is very
aromatic
pleasant.
scent?
Well, most of it is pleasant. There's a few smells that just kind of make your nose crinkle a little bit.
Yeah, but
like,
it's not like I walked over a raw sewage drain.
no.
It's like more like a nice perfume bottle exploded in my face.
A lot of perfume balls exploded in your face, essentially.
Perfect.
Um,
That's the
and
cleanest I've ever smelled.
and inside you find a whole bunch of pristine condition leather pouches, still stocked to the brim with fresh herbs, different like plants and flowers and all that kind of stuff, like petals and all that. All extremely fresh.
Fresh, eh?
Kay is going to reach in and try to take one of the pouches and bring it out of the chest for science.
You pull the pouch out, and you're now holding a really nice leather pouch with a whole bunch of herbs in it.
Kay's gonna take all of the herbs now that he's deemed that the pouches aren't going to like age and decay in his hands when he removes them from the chest, and he's gonna be like, yoink, into his bag.
Okay, you've put a whole bunch of herbs and stuff like that into your bag. Theo, with your detect magic, which still be running.
Mm-hmm.
The chest is still magical. The herbs are not.
So it's like it's a chest to like help retain or maintain or stop time in relation to anything around it or inside
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly just run my hand over the chest real quickly, like see if there's like.
It's very
a
nice
secret
wood.
Compartment. Is there like a secret compartment?
There is not.
Okay.
So can I do a perception check just to hear if it sounds like anybody is coming from the stairs, like the room that we came in, or if anything's happening here? Because I got a feeling that Altheria might still be alive.
So you go over to the wall with the archway, and you're like putting your ear against the wall and listening, and you don't hear anything. You go over
Book
to.
says it's Alpheria's Oz's mom.
You go to the door where you came in and listen, and also nothing.
Okay. Let's check out this table. This table right here.
So
And
Oh.
you're checking out the back table?
Yeah.
Cool. Kay is going to start rummaging around the tables in the middle.
okay. So on the big table, there is a plethora of bottles, urns, jars. There's a whole bunch of mortar and pestles, and like looking inside of them, like some of them still have the like powderized remnants of whatever was inside them, as well as a hefty layer of dust. There's a few books and scrolls open on the table, most of which are yellowed and decayed very heavily. And you do see towards the end of the table, there's a few jars that have like body parts inside of them. Like you see one where it's a brain, another one is a heart that, like, you watch it, and then like as you're turning away, you could have sworn you see it like pulse, and you kind of like look back and you stare at it for a good long while and nothing, and then, like as you're turning away, you swear in your peripheral vision you just watch it.
I don't like this room. I'm gonna go investigate the cupboards really quick.
Okay. Kay, looking at the tables that are out there in the middle, the one directly north of you, there's a few platters and bowls and stuff like that that have various bones still inside of them. Some broken, some still intact. There's a few books. Do you speak Elvish?
I do not.
Okay, so there's books. On the table to your left, there's several bowls, most of which are empty at this point. But looking at them, they probably at one point might have held some kind of fluid. And the table to your right, there's several books on the table, a few jars, like ink pots and stuff like that, that are long since dried out, and there is a very ornate metal chest. In regards to chest as well, just so people are aware, chest, chest, you already encountered that, and then that.
Oh, it looks like it's got bloodstains on it.
It's rest.
Well, Kay's gonna look at the one on the table near him, see if it requires a key or if it can just be opened.
You look at it, and there is a keyhole, but you touch it, like, I imagine, like, poke the lid or just, like, open the lid.
Yeah.
Because that's K. And it opens. And inside, you see an ornate jeweled dagger. And you remember this dagger from the painting.
Kay's gonna reach in and go, found it!
Ooh.
And then put it in his bag.
Okay.
So after like 5 minutes, wrap it up.
I guess I'll open this chest right here in front of me.
So the chest that you were looking at, Theo, it is a very heavy stone chest. It's made of, like, the stone itself is carved in. The lid is also just like pure stone. Like, it is a very heavy lid. And give me a strength check. 18. You manage to get the lid up just a little bit before you have to kind of pull your fingers back as it, like, drops back down.
Yeah.
You figure you might need some help to actually get the lid off of this box.
Real quick question. Does it look like the dagger will fit in this chest?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Alright then. Anna, do you want to look at your chest first before... I say we open this fucker last.
I'm okay with that. I'm going to come over to help Theo.
Okay. Anna.
Lift this thing again.
Anna, the chest that you're looking at, it's made with very solid wood, and there's, like, metal braces on it. Many of the braces are very rusted, and as is the padlock. You kind of like grab the padlock and just give it a tug, and you just watch like the rust kind of like snap, and you're like, oh, okay.
Great.
Good night.
And inside there is a small bowl. It has about a dozen red jewels inside of it.
Fine.
Roll me a investigation check.
Yeah.
Nice. These are virtually identical to the one you saw on the golem's head out front.
Cool.
Cool items.
Might be useful to give to our wizard friend.
I'm going to put them in my little pouchy pouch, but tell everyone that I found them.
Okay.
I found and that they look similar and not identical to the ones on our gold friend.
Alright, let's...
Okay, and so you, anyone who's helping with getting the lid off of that stone chest, give me a strength check.
Another strength check. Yeah! Put your back into it, guys!
Is Sylvania helping too?
Strength
Yeah,
is negative
I'll
1.
I will have Syl help. Her strength is negative.
Well, that last little bit was actually just what you needed to push it over. So,
Fucking A!
it is a really heavy lid. Like, you have to lift it up, and you have to lift it a good probably 6 inches before the bottom part of this lid passes the top part of the box.
Yeah.
And you kind of slide it off. Once you get it sliding and like tip it, it's like clatters to the floor. And inside the box, you find a few things. There is a pouch, not in the greatest condition, but inside of it are 6 stones, and each stone has a face on it. There is a black obsidian orb about the size of a golf ball. There's 50 feet of rope in exceptionally good condition. And there is a silver ring with a teardrop-shaped blue jewel at its tip. It's probably been more than 10 minutes since you had last cast Detect Magic, so it would have long since worn off.
Yeah, so I will withhold casting it again for now.
Because, yeah, Detect Magic lasts 10 minutes, is it? Isn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think so. Hang on, let me double check. Detect magic.
Yeah, concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's currently not active, but
So I feel Kay gravitates towards the ring with the teardrop shape. It's the shiny object he's really interested in.
okay.
He's gonna pick it up.
Don't put it
not-
on yet. Don't
he's
make me
not
recast.
he's not gonna put it on his finger. Calm down. Kay has bad memories of rings. He's gonna put it in his pocket.
Okay, bad memories of rings?
There's 6
I mean-
stones. There's 6 stones with faces, right?
Yes.
There's 6. There's 6 like vial things around this. Hang on. Is that what you said?
No.
Like empty vials? Oh, okay.
No. In the pillars, here and here, there was 4 slots.
Okay. Does
Yeah.
it look like these stones could fit in one of those slots?
They could probably fit inside the slot, but it's not going to be like a snug fit by any means.
Okay. Oh, fuck it. I'll just recast Detect Magic. Give me 5 seconds to roll my... If I get a 1... Okay, no, I don't Magic Surge.
You magic surge and suddenly cast Fireball at your location, killing everyone.
I'd rather not. I'll never Detect Magic.
All of those objects are magic.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah,
What class of magic is this? Is the silver? Is the ring?
That's now in my pocket, but yes.
Yeah. Or school of magic?
It is.
Sorry.
Gesundheit. Because I don't have all the. It is transmutation.
Transmutation.
This
I'm
is gonna
guessing-
be exciting.
Is it the same for the obsidian and the stones?
The stones are evocation.
Evocation.
The rope is transmutation as well,
Transmutation.
and the obsidian orb is abjuration.
Abjuration. Okay then.
I need to remember that I need to start writing down what school of magic all these things are, because you have to detect magic and walk around with like a fucking beacon.
I'm like the ping in DAI. Ding!
Ding, ding, ding! Oh, gotta go harvest more elf fruit.
Gotta go harvest more of it. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, the elf fruit.
Okay then.
There used to be elf fruit in the hinterlands, but not anymore.
Until the next playthrough.
Until the next time you transition back in there.
Or
Save load.
Ignore that too. Or I just casually just try and parkour my way past the dragon that'll one-shot me so I can get the tier 3 items in the boat. Yeah.
Oh, you mean you don't just kill the dragon at level 3?
No.
I do.
I don't play on PC. Fight me.
Anyway, I say we take everything.
Take it all.
Even if we can't use it, we can always give it to our wizard friend to identify.
I mean, Kay has a ring in his pocket. He has no intention of giving it away.
I'm gonna... Anna, do you want to take the rope?
Sure.
Then, I guess I'll hold on to the obsidian and the stones for now. Because I feel like we can probably use the rope.
It was just really good rope. 50 feet.
It has a transmutation spell on it.
Oh, I
So
see.
it might be able to change into a giant snake, climb a wall, turn back into a rope, and then we can climb up. Or
I can note my book. Yeah.
or we can make a snake or a rope that looks like a snake that scared the living bejesus out of someone.
The obsidian is abjuration, which means that it probably wards or purifies or does those kind of things. And then, of course, the stones are evocation, which means one of these might produce a fireball. Maybe. Unless that's conjuration.
That's conjuration.
That's what I thought.
The faces on those stones all the same, or are they different faces?
It's the same face.
Face, okay. Do I recognize the face?
No. It's like not like a very like distinguished like this person. It's just like
More
a generic
like
face.
There's a cutout of eyes, nose, and something resembling like a
Okay,
semblance
so
to
not
a
like
mouth.
not like a deity symbol or something.
No.
Evocation is my school of magic. Eldritch Blast.
Eh.
Call it Cthulhu shit.
Cthulhu.
So shall we stick some stuff into this other chest here?
No, I was wrong. Fireball is evocation.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Evocation elements to burn or shock or freeze your friends. Necromancy spares the dying, or you could just resurrect them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it can't be conjuration. Conjuration's summoning things.
Yep.
So, yeah, evocation is like I evoke fire. Wah.
Transmutation, turning things into other things.
All right then.
I know what I'm listening to after this session is done.
I'm gonna have to get you to send me a link to whatever the hell it is you're singing. 'Cause
I absolutely... It's a crap guide to D&D for Wizard.
Yeah. All right, let's open this last chest.
So I believe this is the. I'm going to try and stick the shiny
The jeweled dagger?
into it. We'll see what happens.
Yep. If that's what you want to do.
Use your metal arm.
Yeah, that's what I intend to do. Unless I really hope there's no electricity involved. Otherwise, it's going to be a shocking experience for me. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you take the knife and you slide it into that slot, and it fits very nicely in. Almost as if it was made for it. And you are able to turn the handle of the dagger, which does turn the slot. And as you do so, green arcane lines and runes spread across the surface of the stone. And as they wrap around and meet at the other side of the block, you watch as, like, the side that's facing the skeleton, you watch as, like, green tendrils kind of, like, stretch forth from the box, embedding into the skull and beginning to travel down the skeleton.
Yeah, back it up.
And...
It's just like, well, I did this.
And as it does, you watch as it, like, basically, like, is weaving through the bones. And as it does so, you watch as the bones kind of, like, twitch and start to move. As you watch the jaw kind of, like, realign itself.
Well, shit.
I don't know if it's an angry skeleton.
And
yet.
I
Calm
would
down.
like for everyone to roll initiative.
Roll initiative!
Well, now we know it's an angry skeleton.
What else would it be?
A friendly spirit that is now possessing a
When
skeleton.
have we met a friendly spirit?
Technically, you met the
Casper was
Dryad.
Friendly, okay?
Casper does not exist in this world. 18, motherfucker. 17 for Sylvania.
I don't know. I can't see. Oh, 15 for K. Oh, it's a big ass fucking skeleton.
Yep.
Shit.
Shit is right.
Okay, so we have...
Hope I can bash it in its head early on, or
Wait.
like knock some of the bones off the table.
Anna.
Because I guess we could have done this by being proactive and removed the skeleton from the table.
I need to look up the steel defender. Oh, I gotta roll for dog too.
Dogs can essentially be right before, right after Sylvania. If you're riding it as a mount, you choose at the start of combat whether it'll be before or after. If you're not using it as a mount, then it's after.
I'm guessing she's using him as a mount right now.
Okay, so you can either choose before or after, and it'll be that way for the whole combat.
Let's have her go after.
Dog goes after Sylvania?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Anna, what you doing with that nat 20 initiative?
Yeah, pretty freaking sweet. Kay is... God damn it, Kay. We're all up in its business. I want to throw a frost wasp at it in fear.
You can still do that.
Aiming for here. Yeah, so I don't want to aim around where Kay is.
Okay.
I mean, or you could just fucking accept it. Like, I can get hit by it, that's fine.
It's not ideal. So let's...
Okay, so roll me that attack for the Frost Wasp.
Oh, I should have just used my spell attack. Whoops.
You should have.
Anyway, so 17.
Would have been 17. Okay. That does hit.
Hooray.
So now roll me the damage.
Whole freaking damage.
Okay, now roll me the shatter damage from it. And he...
1d6. Just check again. 2d6.
And does he roll a dex save for that, or?
Oh, good question. Hit or miss. Each creature, yes, must succeed on a dex save. Thank you. So,
Okay.
dexterity.
Well, roll me your 2d6 damage there.
Okay. I'm not sure if he made it or not.
Well, regardless, because he takes half damage if he doesn't.
Oh, correct. Well, 9.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
And then as a bonus action, so I'm just gonna move further back.
So it's your movement action.
Yeah, movement action. Well, done.
Okay. That puts us on to Theo. What are you doing?
Theo is going to take also step back, and Theo is going to cast Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
Let me
It's a dex save.
a dex save?
Or yeah, I don't know where I rolled that, but yeah, it's a dex save. So the target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage.
Okay. Okay, so roll me your damage.
4. I do 4 radiant damage.
4 radiant damage. Alrighty. That puts us to Sylvania.
Sylvania is gonna hold her action until Dog gets into position.
And what is Sylvania's action that she's holding?
Sylvania's action is she's going to attack it with her lance.
Okay. And Dog.
Dog is going to move. What is Dog's speed?
And it takes Sylvania's bonus action to command Dog.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's gonna tell Dog to move. Where is that? Okay, there it is. Haha. Okay. Dog has 40 feet, so she's gonna tell him to move close. She's gonna attack.
Keep in mind that Sylvania has 10-foot reach with the lance while mounted.
So it's 5. So can she stand back here then?
No. 10 foot, just she has to be, yeah, there can be one 5-foot space between her and her target.
Okay, yeah, so we'll move her here, and then she'll attack.
Okay, so roll me an attack.
She's gonna Lance. 24!
That most certainly hits. So roll me the damage.
If I click this thing. No, that's not it.
Click Lance +1 underneath the roll. Like
Yeah,
that.
no, I did that. Lance +1. What? Underneath the roll?
Yeah, like where it says like on your actual roll itself.
Uh-huh.
Click where it says Lance +1.
Yeah, I did.
On the text box, not on your character sheet.
Oh, there. Okay, she does 8.
Okay.
And then can she back up? Like right here?
Yep.
Can Dog move them back? Yeah, so Dog's gonna move them back. Yeah, move them back.
Okay.
Like right here.
To pop up and then take up steps back.
Yeah, attack and then take
Um,
some steps back.
Alrighty.
I think that's that's
Okay, it's your turn. What you doing?
I'm gonna take one of my short swords and I'm gonna try and stab it through its eye socket. The eye socket of the skeleton, which I'm assuming is still magically lying down. And
It is still laying down.
And I'm going to try and shove one of my short swords through its eye hole and then hopefully pierce through the back of the skull and secure the skull aggressively to the slab.
So you're
Or
trying
if
to.
not, I'm trying to fuck up the skull.
Okay,
That's
so
what
you're
I'm
basically trying
trying
to
to
pin the skull to the table.
More or less, yes.
Okay.
Excuse me while I go look at
So. So roll me an attack.
don't.
I'm
You-
still fighting in a dress.
Yes, you are.
Well, I don't hit.
No, you go up and you try and stab through, and you're like your sword goes like through the eye socket and just hits the table and the underside, and you just kind of feel that reverberation in your hand, like ah.
Cool.
Alrighty. Skeleton's turn. As the tendrils continue to like go down, weaving in and out through the bones, it kind of like pushes itself up so it's sitting, and it's going to reach out and take a swing at Kay.
Yeah, I would expect it to swing and take a swing at me.
Yeah, you're the closest target. Does a 14 hit you?
Yep.
Okay. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage,
Yeah, of course I do.
and you are knocked back 5 feet.
Yuck.
So, well, I need to go find my D&D thing so I can do math.
So you are knocked to there.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond!
D&D Beyond.
Alrighty. And with that, we're up to Anna.
So what size is this creature?
It is about 15 feet tall, or it will be 15 feet tall once it gets standing.
Does he look like he's too tall to fit in the door we just came?
The door you just came in is currently closed.
Right, it closed.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to open that yet.
Right, that's why then we can't just run out. Mother Fuhrer. Okay, well, so much for running like a coward.
The only other thing we can think of is if we want to activate that portal on the other side.
Oh man, I'd love to. So in that case, I'm gonna have to actually move closer to this bad boy. So I guess
Walk the long
hard to
way.
be in range.
Walk the long way.
I'm gonna hurl a firefly at it.
Okay. That definitely hits.
Hit. So if I hit spell attack,
It won't, because I haven't put in all your different spells, because it's one spell attack modifier, but then a whole bunch of different damages.
yeah, no, that's totally cool. Oh, 7 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you deal 7 points of damage. It's like the fire hits it and just kind of like splatters across the bones. Are you doing anything else?
No.
Okay. Theo.
I'm gonna hit it with a. You know what? I'm gonna hit it with Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Okay, give me that attack roll.
14.
That does not hit.
Shit.
Well. You fire it, and you just watch as the bolt goes like through the rib cage and just out the back, and just barely misses the ribs.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna move behind this thing.
That is the table.
That's you know what? It's
Half
cover.
It's half cover, yeah.
It's half cover.
So Sylvania.
Sylvania is once again. She's like bonus action. Dog, get close. I'm gonna hit it with my lance again, and then she's gonna hold her action.
Okay.
And then on Dog's turn, Dog will move within range. Is that 5 feet?
Yep.
Is that 10 feet? And
Yep.
then Sylvania will attempt to hit.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
That thing. Yeah.
Crit. Nice. Okay, roll that damage. So that is 19 points of piercing damage.
Fucking A.
And like it gets a good solid hit, and like hits like the one one of the ribs, and it just shatters like 2 or 3 ribs. There's like penetrates in between them and just splits the ribs.
Yeah. gonna go 5, 10 feet away from this thing.
Okay.
Back off.
Okay. As you're picking your ass up off the ground after being bitch slapped, what are you doing?
Stepping back once more.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'd have disadvantage. I'm going to attack it with my longbow after doing the dumb thing. Well, not necessarily a dumb thing. I'm going to I'm gonna mark it.
Okay, you activate a hunter's mark?
I'm activating my hunter's mark on this stupid piece of garbage.
Okay.
Surge? Oh, could it surge?
It can, because that's a level 1 spell.
Surge. So roll 1d20.
Forward slash, not backslash.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in very, very serious combat right now, and you're walking back and forth for being distracted.
Well, not. It didn't surge.
Did not surge.
Cool. So.
That may or may not have been in your best interest.
I don't know. It could have either one-shot the stupid thing, exploded, and death to it all, or it could have been death to me.
Exactly, as I said, that may or may not have been in your best interest.
And then I'm gonna do that, and I miss anyway. So
Yes, you do.
Irrelevant.
You fire and just the arrow just hits the table, and just because of the force you fired in the close range, that arrow just shatters. The skeleton's turn. As reaching this point, the green tendrils have now reached through the rest of its bones, have now reached its feet. And as it turns and steps off the table... Oh, I am on the... Oh, there we go. It's going to move forward.
Of course it is!
And it's going... It's moving forward, and it's going to take a swing down at Sylvania. Because Sylvania just crit the damn thing.
Yep, it did.
That is a 19.
19 hits.
19 hits.
That's exactly her armor class.
Okay. And that is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouchie.
And Sylvania is knocked back 5 feet.
Yeah. I can't adjust it on her. That's okay. I've brought up a calculator.
That was 8 points of damage. Okay. And then it is going to... does it want to use that now? No, not yet. Okay. So that puts us to Annah.
Who is the dagger?
The dagger's in the box.
Ah, man. I want to stab it with the dagger. Does this thing have reach?
Not... It's moved within 5 feet to attack, so you don't know. You'd assume so, considering it has really long arms, but you don't know.
And you know it hits hard because it knocked me back.
Okay. Well, not being of an opportune moment yet to try and grab the dagger and stab it with it, I'm just going to try and get out of its reachy zone.
Okay. It gets an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah.
It rolled a 2. It misses.
Hooray!
It just slams its bony hand down, and you just kind of manage to duck out as it slams right behind you.
Short motherfucker. And we're gonna do just another good old firefly trusty spell attack. Ooh, but I was a nat 1, so.
That is a nat 1. Roll me percentile.
Are we magic surging?
Nope.
That's what's happening right now?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Cantrips cannot surge.
Okay.
Okay, 65. So it goes wide. It goes wide. You fire it and it just goes right past the left shoulder. It is like, and you're like, in that moment, like spin around and try and fire it. It just fired off a little bit too early.
Sure.
So much build-up, such elation. Theo, what are you doing?
Theo's moving 5. Can I move here? 10, 15. Do I have line of sight?
Yeah, you'd have had line of sight around that table too, because the table's not bigger than it.
Okay, I'll move it this way then, and then I will once again cast Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay. Roll me that Eldritch Blast.
Full attack. I miss.
You miss.
I fucking miss.
See, maybe Anna just needs to roll your Eldritch Blast again. She hit and killed things with the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, fuck. I hit and killed things last time.
So yeah, your Eldritch Blast just, it like, you think it hits, but it just like splattered off. It doesn't even appear to have scratched or phased it. Sylvania.
I'm thinking that right now the only thing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think. I think I'd like her to cast shield on herself.
Well, shield is a reaction spell.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. So I'll wait then.
Yeah, so it's something you can, because it only lasts from the time you activate it till the start of your next turn.
Okay, I will use that then as a reaction, and then.
Well, it's like if you get, it's like when you get hit, you can activate this spell.
Okay, then I will do that next time she gets hit then, and I will. I guess she'll. I'll do it like we were normally doing, which is she'll hold her lance attack.
Well, you're currently in range of.
Oh yeah, then she'll make a lance attack.
Okay.
And give dog the
Order to GTFO.
Move. Yeah.
Okay.
So she'll lance attack, and
That does not hit.
And then we're gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're gonna move 5. Yeah, 5, 10. We're gonna move over here.
Okay.
Actually, we'll move here. Ish.
Alrighty. Okay. What you doing?
Hey, we're gonna run over with this table.
I mean, I'm gonna try and shoot it again.
Okay. Twing twang walla bing bang. That's a 17 and that hits.
Okay. I don't know. Can I click this?
Yes, you did 6
Hey.
piercing damage, and then you'd have to roll for your Hunter's Mark damage.
Yes, I have to double check what it's 1d6.
So I missed with a 16, correct?
You did.
When did you miss? No, you missed with a 14.
No, 14.
Oh, 14. Okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, it's 1d6. Okay, hold on. So 9 damage.
Alrighty. Alrighty, that puts us on. Are you moving or are you staying there?
Stay here.
Okay.
I want to be sort of within range of punch me bitch because I have enough squishy people in my party, and apparently I'm one of the lesser squishy people.
You are, but we all know that Theo is the tank.
Yes, but that doesn't mean Theo tries to be the tank.
Alrighty.
God.
So Skelly Boy here is going to turn and come down towards you as you just hit it. And it's going to take a good old swat at you.
Oh boy.
That is a 14 again.
Go ahead.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, wow, look at that.
And you are knocked back 5 feet.
Of course I am.
Just ouch.
And
I'm not worried yet.
want to move yourself back 5 feet?
Oh yeah, I can do that. So there. Yeah.
Yeah.
is me. I feel like he's doing math.
Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, I hate this.
Ominous arrow.
I hate this a lot.
You watch as the green tendrils kind of like form up in the back of its throat, and it turns to face both Kay and Theo. And as it opens its maw, you watch as this toxic gas surges forth in a cone. And I need both of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
That's that button.
17!
Hey! I think 17 is me.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, I see Kay's. I don't see Theo's yet.
Where the hell's mine? Okay. Nope. Fucking 9.
Hey, at least it wasn't with disadvantage.
Nope.
With disadvantage, Theo poisoned, failing to breathe.
Okay. And so Kay, you take 4 damage. Theo, you take 8. Poison damage.
So this is
Ouch.
when I'm going to look towards the party with a very
We need
I'm
to
kind
leave.
of feeling ill look.
We need to leave.
I mean,
And that puts us up to Anna.
Ooh. I'm ripping the dagger out, or like pulling it out like a nice person.
You run up, and as you pull the dagger out of the chest, you watch all these green tendrils that are currently splaying towards the skeleton as they flicker and like fade out, and you watch as this body of this pile of bones kind of like starts to lose form. It's still standing, but you don't know for how much longer.
So could I also attack it now?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah, because it'd be object interaction is a free action once per turn, so.
Right. I don't know if I'm going to hit very hard with the dagger, because I'm going to assume it's just a strength.
It's a dexterity weapon, it's a finesse weapon. So you can use strength or dex.
Let's do dex, because that's a little bit better for me.
Okay, then just roll a dex roll.
So 20 to hit.
That does hit. Roll me the damage, which is 1d4
24, alrighty.
plus your dex.
2 damage with this ornate dagger.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you go and you stab it and you just kind of like hit one of the ribs and just like, haha, I hit it! Theo.
I helped.
Theo's gonna cast Sacred Flame at this thing again. It's gotta make a dex save.
Okay. What's the spell save DC?
12.
Okay. What's the damage?
1d8.
Well, roll the damage.
No, and I'm rolling it. I
Oh,
rolled
nice!
an 8. Ooh. Did 8 damage. 8 radiant damage. Take that.
As this like
bitch.
fire just kind of pours down on it, and you like watches like the one arm just kind of slumps off to the ground as these tendrils are fading out more. Sylvania.
Sylvania is going to. She's gonna ready her lance again.
Okay. Dog's running around to let her stab.
Dog's going 5, 10, 10, 15, and then she's gonna stab it.
Okay. You roll me attack.
Yeah.
That hits. Roll me the damage.
She's gonna do 5 damage to it.
5 more points piercing. Okay.
And then she's gonna go, and what was that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
And as you run away, Skeleton is going to make an attack of opportunity because
Oh yeah, that's right.
it
I
misses.
got too close.
You got too close, but it missed.
Hooray.
Oh fuck! I'm within attack opportunity range now.
Technically you're not.
Oh, is it 5?
It's
You don't know.
you're- It has reach.
No one knows if it has reach or not.
Yeah,
All you know is that it has moved within 5 feet of you to attack and knocked you back 5 feet every time it hit.
Yep.
But it is Kay's turn.
For science, I'm gonna do that.
It also already used this reaction this turn.
Yep.
I don't even care. Actually, you know what? Fine. Fuck it. I have what is the distance? I have 30 feet I can run.
Yep.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Fuck it. I'm moving out of the way because I'm hurt real bad.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
move out of the
I'm gonna
way.
I'm gonna take my arrow, I'm gonna shoot him, and I'm
I
gonna
should've
miss.
moved.
And that's gonna be my turn.
Okay.
Apparently, even with a +6 longbow, or a +6 to hit to attack, I can't.
Rolling a 5.
anything.
To be fair, it's all bones. So that puts us to the skeleton,
Yep.
who is... Oh, he's going to. You stab him with a dagger. It's going to turn around and try and swat Anna. Does a 23 hit you?
Oh, yeah. I try to cartwheel out of the way and I kind of loop into it.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I'm in
It's
danger.
only ever done 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow.
No, it did 6.
It did 6. And that puts us to... Actually, oh, I need to rule this. That's not... No, he did not get it back.
Thank fuck.
Anna, your turn.
Oh boy, it's my turn. You know what's exciting about them being really close to me? I can cast Bug Tremor. The second level
Tremor.
slot. So
Okay, roll me a
Sure.
surge. Did not surge.
It was really great. So, swarm of bugs scamper foot in a 10-foot radius of me. Each creature other than me must make a dexterity saving throw.
Or...
Or take 1d6 bludgeoning damage. And is knocked prone.
This is Bug Trimmer. Okay, so he does not take half damage on a success. What's your spell save DC? Well, that was a whopping total of 8, so he fails, so roll the 2d6.
Yay!
Yeah.
2d6, 2d6. Yeah!
8.
Stupid face. And his dumb bony bone dragon face.
So as all these bugs writhe up and start like shaking it about as he does the hokey pokey and he turns himself around, he is absolutely falling prone.
Fall down.
Yep, he absolutely falls prone, and as he does, those last few green tendrils are no longer able to hold the bones together, and you just watch as it collapses to the ground. The bones kind of scatter a bit, and the head just kind of teeters and rolls away a little bit.
I kick the head.
You can absolutely kick the head.
It's gonna frickin' punt it across the room.
Roll me a strength check.
Oh crap.
9.
9.
Bad considering you
Uh,
have -1.
Yeah, you don't kick it very far. And you also kind of hurt your foot a little bit when you punt it, because it is just solid bone. But
Alright.
the head rolls a good, 3 or 4 feet.
So now we all agree we need to leave,
Yes.
and the option seems to be the magical portal on the far side of the room, because we don't know if we can actually open our way back through the other way.
Just in case, since everyone took damage, I'm gonna
Are we all gonna cuddle over here and
No,
then
I'm
you're
gonna roll
do
3 of these. Someone gets 5 points health, someone gets 4 points of health, and sadly someone gets 1 point of health.
I'll take the 1.
Okay.
I'll take the 5.
Okay. Sylvania gets 4 points of health back.
Already.
Because now I'm almost at half my health.
Woohoo! And so as
I
the
also
bones...
am
Oh,
still I'm at 15, but I'll deal with it.
I'm at 12.
I'm in danger. But as the dust settles and the bones settle, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. A potential portal ahead of you. Who knows what lays behind you? That being said, I will at least give you this tidbit of information. It is potentially possible to leave this room without the portal.
Yay!
You're not trapped in here. But what you do about it is up to you.
And that's where we're gonna end this session.
That is where we're ending this session. So thank you all for joining in, and yeah, have yourselves a great night.
We survived. Good thinking, Anna.
See, I was laughing because I was like, you're even commenting on, it's like Kay was commenting, like, we should like clear the bones off the table, and then no one did.
I totally missed that. I'm sorry. Completely missed that.
I mean, I said it, and I completely missed it.
Yep.
So...
Just fucking forgot.
Yep.
It was-
But anyways, we're peacing out. Thank you all for tuning in. We will. Some of us will be back next week for the MW campaign, for Mel's campaign, and if for continue on for ours, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So have yourselves a great night and peace.